All right, guys, welcome back. Happy Thursday. We have a great show in front of us today. We're going to be talking about all the answers that the men gave the other week, and we're going to be breaking it down. We've got a couple people backstage already, and they're going to be joining us in just a second. Let me know what city and state you are watching from. Even if you are watching on the replay, I want to know where you're watching from. Just a quick reminder for the gentlemen who want to weigh in on these answers in the future, you can do so by going to my Instagram page, and that is Yonsternation. Let me go ahead and add it up to the stage so you can see. So it looks just like, just kidding, I lied. I think I got mine mixed up. This one, there we go. We got Yonsternation here, and only gentlemen can follow on this page. So make sure that you are following there if you want to give your 2 cents anonymously, of course. And also, if you are interested in seeing all the answers, the men's names are redacted for their privacy, but you can see them on my Patreon page. You can go to Patreon and join there. And we have a lot of fun. You guys can see on the screen all the stuff that we've got. All right, let me bring my good people to the stage. Let's see who we got in the house. We got the lovely Somalia. Hello, darling.
Hi.
Hey, we got Willie in the house. And we got Paul. All right, so, hey guys. Anyone
Good
celebrating?
evening. Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear. Can you hear me? Okay.
I can hear you. Yes, thank you.
Good.
Anybody celebrate Juneteenth on Wednesday? Well, yesterday.
Yep.
Well, I'm scared to ask you, Willie. What did you do? And you're muted, by the way.
I took a fire ass nap.
I knew you were going to say something crazy. Oh, goodness. How did you celebrate, Paul? So I'm freaking out.
So my night job actually did like a little Juneteenth kind of block party situation. So I decided to show my face there. And then after that, I went to a black men meeting with BMI here in Georgia. So it was good to be around some brothers, and we sat in a circle and we talked about things that are affecting us as black men. So I just found them on Eventbrite. I was like, yo, I want to do something like this. I need to be surrounded by some black brothers, and we talked about all kinds of things. So I was happy with it.
Nice. Well, mine was less I should say less elegant than that. I went to a pool party, lots of melanated people there. It was nice to see people getting outside and drink. So Dallas is always scalding hot, and then one day I go to a pool party, it's super duper overcast. So that was weird. All right, guys. So I'm just going to jump into the questions today. Last time I was running super behind, so I'm going to go ahead and start these out the gate. For those of you who maybe are watching for the first time, by the way, drop your city and state if you would, and let me know where you are watching from. If you are lurking on Instagram, shame on you. Please come to YouTube and let me know you came from Instagram. What was I just going to say? Oh, drop your city and state. So if those of you don't know, each week on YouTube, we cover the topics that the men have answered in the past. Those on Patreon have already gotten answers, but we will be discussing them in real time. So tune in. We're going to put the 5 questions up, and then we're going to do a submitted question. And then if y'all try to hold me hostage like usual, then we will have the bonus hour and we will talk about other stuff. Oh, Lindsay's in the house. Hey, girl. Another Dallas girl. She couldn't come to the pool party. She had to work. That was tragic. But let me know how you guys celebrated Juneteenth, those of you in the comments. All right, so let's get this first question up here. This is one that one of my patrons asked. She said, what are some hobbies that you think are sexy for a woman to have? So I'm going to go ahead and pull my answers up like normal over here, and you guys can jump in. What are some things that you think would be cool to have? And by the way, I'm so terrible. Hi, Lou. Nice to see you. Good to have you. We also what'd you say?
So glad to be aboard.
Oh, yeah. Very nice. We got Jacob returning too. You said City of New Orleans? Oh, very nice. Very nice. Hi, Jacob. Welcome back.
Hey guys, how are you all?
Doing well here. We got Chen is tuning in from London. That's always cool. What time is it in London? Yeah. Cliff, he said that's my good. Okay, and let me go ahead and cue this up. So give me some hobbies. Have you guys heard wow, someone's gonna get a
Oh yeah. I'll be honest, I haven't really been on Patreon that much because I've been busy. So I'm just gonna speak from what I think. For me, any girl that's at least interested in gaming, that's a turn on for me. And I'm not just talking about just casual, there's like I'm talking about actually into
like hardcore into
like if I'm playing Mario Kart, I want her to jump in and be like, "Hey, yo, come and get some of this." I'll be like, "Bring it on!" I like a little competition. That shows me that you're willing to be edgy and competitive, all that good stuff. So that's
Okay.
separate on my list.
Very nice, very nice. Oh, we got Lynette in the house. Good to see you, Lynette. Feel free to come on, girl. You know how to get on stage if you would like to, but she's representing Bronx, New York, as though there's more than one Bronx. We got Hinesville, Georgia in the house. Very nice. And Kenny's watching from Capitol Heights, Maryland. Very cool. We have Lenora joining us on stage for the first time. Hi, Lenora. Thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, absolutely. I'm so glad. I'm always like, oh, we were going to be too shy to come on, but I love it when my patrons show up and represent. Very awesome. Would you like to share in general where you live? You can be as specific or as vague as possible.
Well, I live in New Jersey, northern New Jersey, about 30 minutes from New York City.
Okay, perfect. All right. All right, guys, there are 8 of you on Instagram. Please come over to YouTube. That's where the show is at. Okay, this is just a reminder for you guys to come over. And when you pop it over, let me know you came from Instagram. Okay. All right. So anyone else want to share a hobby that they think is kind of sexy for a woman to have?
If she likes the outdoors, that's nice.
Oh, okay. What about fishing and stuff like that?
Hell no.
Yeah, take a bow
I
and
wouldn't be
arrow.
against it, but I'm not as into fishing, But if she's willing to teach me, I'm willing to learn.
Okay. Oh, he said the gym. Okay, I'm not mad at that.
The question says it's sexy for a woman to have. I've never been turned on by a woman with a fishing pole. Ever.
I'm just throwing some out there.
I would say like pole dancing.
That would definitely be a sexy.
Pole fitness is crazy. Like the skating, you know what I'm saying? Pilates is kind of dope, but fishing and like, I'm not trying to be funny, but like I play video games and I walk into a room and my girl is on the game, I'm upset. Like, move. That's not sexy to me.
Not even if she's just in a t-shirt.
No, that's not. She's not sexy because she's playing games. She's sexy because she's in a t-shirt. Different.
I'm just messing.
Okay, Mr. Willie.
Ball or pool. Okay, so how about pool? She knows how to shoot pool.
I just want to point out Yonci got a little dirty mind. I don't know, man. Like I'm starting to pick that. Like,
I try to hide it on social media. Those in my classes, they know. I'm super inappropriate.
like,
When we're recording, I try to somewhat hide it. All right, y'all. Come on over. There's 6 of you watching on YouTube or Instagram. Come on over to YouTube. You see all the beautiful people on here, and a few of them are singles, so you don't want to just look at me. Come on over to YouTube and see everything. Can she barbecue? All right, so let me read some of these answers. Every time I do it, I almost accidentally say the person's name. Okay, so one guy said cooking, DIY projects, and weight training. Now, is there a limit to the working out? Like, we've all seen those videos that go viral where there's a woman who looks like He-Man. Is there like a limit to fitness? Are we caring if she's got big veins coming out of her neck?
Yep. I don't want my woman to be hard or like muscular.
You don't, or you do?
I don't, because like they throat get real strong, and I don't like that. Like, I need you to be soft and womanly. I don't want your neck. Your trap muscles bigger than mine, and I have really big traps. I don't like that, because then when I hug you. And I go on, you gotta go on top, and I gotta go on bottom. It's like we wrestling. I don't want to do that.
I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm gonna let Willie be all my politically incorrect things. I do see some, videos, and I do even though there's a woman's head and she's got a chest, you know, a woman's chest, it does like make your brain think it's a guy. It looks very masculine to have those real big muscles. So that's interesting. Okay.
You can work out, still be soft and feminine, have a soft feminine physique.
Yeah.
But people want to look like that. They do competitive weightlifting or whatever, that stuff, bodybuilding and stuff. You know, but for me, it's a bit much. But some people are with it. Yeah, not for me either. I like my fluffy curves, honey.
Yeah, to each his own, but that I ain't feeling it. I'm kind of with Willie on that. I don't need to see all that, but I do like a woman who's active, like a sexy hobby that you're active in some way. Do something.
My only thing with that is like, if you're gonna be, you know, a gym girl and all that good stuff, that's totally fine. But be careful with how often you show it. And what I mean by that is like, I see women posting pictures in the mirror with they showing their ass, like they do it like this and all that kind of stuff. And that's fine, but you got to be careful with it, because oftentimes, you know, a girl could be in the mirror, you know, doing videos or whatever, and the guy would just be up and glancing at them, you know, just a casual look, and they'd be like, oh, look at this peeping Tom, or, you know, so or something like. So that's a part of the cancel culture in Jimmy. So if I'm dating somebody, if I'm dating my girl, I'll be like, yo, just be careful about what you post if you're in the gym, because I don't want you to get caught up in no kind of situations. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely some thirst trapping happening on the gram. That's for sure.
It's only sexual harassment or like unwanted if not attractive. Like
True. But what I'm saying is, there have been times where
I'll let you finish. I got you. But
there have been situations where, you know, girl will be at the gym, she'll be working and everything.
Listen, if the beginning of my sentence interrupts the middle of yours, then we have a problem. But vice versa. I was speaking. I promise I'll let you land. But what I was saying, Yonci, is that there's been several times where you'll see these videos of men who are being ostracized and made to look like creeps just because they aren't attractive. Because what you also see is that in the other videos, the girls who are thirst trapping men they actually like, they do the exact same thing and they have a very different response. So the level of attraction a woman has tends to be the difference between sexual harassment and an HR complaint, or, you know, being flattered in a first date.
You're saying the attraction she has for the guy looking.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so she said, I went and I didn't see it. So if you go to YouTube, just type in Chasing Yonci, or you can go to my story, which I don't know if you can see my story at this point if I'm live. But yeah, just type in Chasing Yonci and it will immediately take you there. Okay, so I'm going to read a couple more. I like this answer. He said, anything that will take her mind off of her career and work that won't jeopardize our relationship. Everyone has great ideas. I think that anything that allows those things to assist in survival mode. Oh, rock climbing, archery, gymnastics, swimming, skeet shooting, etc. Anything that allows her sex appeal and femininity to propel. I remember in high school I had a course called Lifetime Sports, which consisted of all conditioned me so much more and also fun. So they had interesting answers. Jet skiing, man, I wish I had enough money to have jet skiing as a hobby. I'm like, no, I don't have coins yet.
That's a lot of fun.
Oh man, I love water sports. Any hobby that has nothing to do with their career. Oh, that's nice.
I like that.
Photography, painting, line dancing, archery are not hobbies if you started them 2 weeks ago. He said, my hobby is bowling, which I've been doing for more than 40 years. I definitely think it's good for a woman to have a full life and something that she really loves doing. One of the posts that I put up this week was about alone time, if a man needs alone time. And I think it's just healthy for her to have things that she's interested in, because I think our nature is to be so nurturing as women that we can have a tendency to make a man our world, and that can kind of stifle the guys sometimes. So, you know, it's not bad, y'all. Get some hobbies. As I say in my class, get a life. I say it respectfully, but it's important because when I was younger, I didn't, and yeah, it was no good. We got Blondie tuning in from Jacksonville, Florida. Nice to see you. Thank you. Hey. All right, guys, we're going to go on to number 2. By the way, to the new people here, I was going to say, this is funny saying that after the exchange with Willie just now, but we all pretty much just jump in. We try to like feel it out, and if as long as someone's not talking, but you definitely don't have to raise your hand like a Zoom meeting or anything like that. So if you have something you want to share, just kind of like double dutch and jump on in there because we love to hear from everybody. Okay, so number 2, second question. This is a quote from Alex Hormozy. Great business mind, fabulous. I follow him. He made this quote, and he said this quote, and I thought, I want to see what the guys have to say. So I'll share what they voted on, but I want to hear what you guys have to say first. So here's the quote. Men want to be respected, and men gain respect by being useful. Do you agree with that sentence? With that statement? So what are your thoughts, you guys?
I definitely agree.
Okay. Anyone else want to give their 2 cents?
Yeah.
I think that's number 1 for men. Respect. Yeah. A lot, the emotional connection is very important, but the respect, that's what we men, that's what we have that could take us a long way. If the woman can understand that, she good to go. I don't know, maybe. Yeah.
No, go ahead. What'd you say?
Yeah, I mean, it's just, we got to deal with what we got to deal with out there in the world. And then when you come home, you want to come home to a place of refuge. You know what I'm saying? Everything we have to deal with. Mm-hmm. And we don't want to deal with the riffraff and the drama and all that afterwards. You know what I'm saying? So it's very important. So if women can understand that, I think they have a better time with their man or their significant other going forward in a relationship.
So what are you guys' thoughts on how they gain respect? So I think we would agree every man wants respect, but do we agree with Alex that they get respect by being useful? So I'm going to paint a picture. Let's say that Willie and Jacob are on an island and we're stranded.
No doubt.
And Jacob decides I can pull some of these bamboos down and make us a shelter. And now we're not in, the direct sunlight. And Willie is just sitting there, cleaning sand out of his toenails.
He just eye candy. He ain't doing shit. He ain't doing that. He just eye candy. He just sitting there looking cute.
It's 2 men on the island. There is no eye candy.
No. I'm sorry. There are a bunch of women, and you guys are 2 men. Sorry. Thank you, Jacob. Jacob just intuited, but yes, I didn't say that there are women there. Yes, you're not Jacob's eye candy while he makes you a covering. Okay. We're gonna make that very clear. Okay, so do you think that Jacob would be respected more because of his usefulness?
Yes.
Yes, because that shows the fact that he's skilled in survival situations.
Just that he's useful. A woman don't want a lazy man.
There were a lot of people who disagreed. Y'all are on station. You know what they said.
Oh, maybe they don't like real men or something. I don't know. But I mean, if I was a woman on the island and the man is on the sideline and then everybody else is stepping up and they kind of twiddling their thumbs or whatever, I would definitely give him the side eye. Like, so what you gonna do?
I know, little side eye.
Yeah, I definitely give the side eye. So being useful is good, and then too, as a woman, you want to know that, of course, there's a security factor in there, and knowing that he's well able and also he's willing to do X, Y, and Z. So you don't have, like Willie said, you don't have a lazy man or anything like that. So now there is some dependency there where I can kind of fall back and relax a bit, and I don't have to do everything myself.
That part.
If you look at the men in our society that are respected, find me one respected man that's not useful.
Or is it known for something? Yeah. Now, these are the answers. So I always have 2 polls because the way Instagram works, not everybody can see them in the caption. So I always do a backup in the story. And they're usually pretty similar. But this one was like teetering both ways. So, but you notice either way, it was very close. So at one point, 56% of the men said they agree with that statement. And the other one, 48% said they did not agree. So I'm going to read some of the answers that the guys said, and I found it very interesting. One guy said, you should be respected in general, not on what you can do, which reminded me a bit of what we talked about the women. I should be love for what's in my heart and not how I look, that kind of stuff. Okay. Next guy says, fact and reality. Men are respected for what they can provide the world or someone. We don't have to agree, but it's been that way for millennia. Respect is earned for men, and that's why most useful men get the most fruitful life in whatever he seems adequate for his work. Okay, another one says, yes, to an extent. Let's see. I hear... Oh, sorry. There is a general level of respect we must all have for each other, which I think there's a difference between like being respectful to someone and somebody earning your respect. They said in a relationship and marriage is another notch. You, the lady, have the full responsibility to choose a man you can respect enough to submit to. Okay, I'm going to get to another one. That's pretty long. I agree in a sense, but being respected should not be attributed to only being useful in what he can do, but also who they are and inner qualities they bring, such as personality, character, integrity, and intelligence and morals. So this is interesting to me. Let's talk about this comment. It said these traits can also be useful. Everyone wants to be useful, but no one wants to feel used. Mm-hmm. So when I'm looking at something like having a good character, I think you could respect a person for having upstanding character. However, if they're not, I go back to if they're not contributing. I don't care how great character my man has, how high of his morals are, how much integrity, and what a fabulous personality. If he's sitting around and letting me take care of everything, I don't know if I can respect him on that stuff alone.
Nah, you right, because women they like a man that like to take the lead. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if the brothers on the panel agree, but I know the women. A lot of women look for leadership, so that's very important.
Interesting thoughts. All right, we are going to get to question number 3. We are making record time today. But in the meantime, if you guys are enjoying the show, please go ahead and hit that like button. This lets YouTube know that this is a show that should be pushed out to more people. So if you tap that like button, anybody want to snitch and let me know how many likes there are so far? Feel free to let me know where we are. Blondie says, I can't respect a man who doesn't make me feel safe. I agree with that statement, and I'm going to go safe, whether it's physically safe or even emotionally safe. If a guy is dismissive, he doesn't care what I think, I don't respect him either.
There's 8 likes so far.
You lie. Surely you just haven't refreshed.
I'm looking at it right here.
No way. 19 people watching.
Yonci and Friends, episode 7 started 22 minutes ago. 8 likes.
Oh, Lynette just backed you up. She said 8 likes. Yo.
Well, it just went up to 9. I decided to tap on my phone, so you got a like from me.
Thank you so much.
I'm gonna let y'all keep telling on each other, but something I did learn about women: safety means a lot of things. It's not just the physical aspect, and if there's a threat around, you can handle it, but they need to feel like just emotionally safe with you, that you can do something if something happens, and that doesn't always mean fighting and squabbling, but like, hey, if something breaks, can you take care of it, or something just needs to be handled that they typically wouldn't handle? Can you take care of it for them? And not that they have to ask, but you'll just do it and take care of it. Something I learned at this big age in life. Something I may have not known maybe 20 years ago. So
there was a video about this guy got slammed, but he said years ago at the beginning of his marriage, his wife asked him at one point, hey, can you put the food up? Everything was on the stove. Can you put the food up before you go to bed? He's like, yeah, no problem. And so he took the pots and put the pots in the fridge. And so he learned the next day that putting the food up meant take the food out of the pot, put it in a container, wash the dishes, and put it up. And so the comments were filled with, how can you be a grown man and don't know this? Have you grown up seeing pots in the fridge and all that stuff? And so it's interesting when you were saying that, Jacob. A lot of women will complain and say, I got to explain everything to a guy. And sometimes I really wonder if y'all really know or just be playing like you don't know. Or the whole, where's the ketchup? Ketchup's right here. Where's the ketchup? Have y'all seen the ketchup? And it's like, but we all have the same story, so it's kind of
Well, looking at it from that point of view, Yonci, either way, like I'll put myself in that situation because I like to cook. You know what I'm saying? So if you told me to put the food up, I'm not gonna lie, I might be that guy that'll put the pot, especially if it's full. You know what I'm saying? I'll put the pot in the fridge, and then over, like, let's say a day or two, if we cut, like, for example, I make a full pot of Alfredo, right, and then we'll eat on it. You know what I'm saying? Put the rest in the fridge, right, still in the pot, right, and then the next day, if we eat half of it as leftovers, I'll be like, okay, if I have containers that are big enough for that, that's when I'll consolidate and then wash the dishes and everything. And besides, one way or the other, the sink's going to be clear for me because I like to cook and clean, because that's how
I can't let something ride. Why you just can't tell us what the ketchup is? You know where it is. Just tell us. Like, why does that have to be confrontational? Like,
I think
some things.
Well, the bigger confrontation is
women are better at. Y'all are just better at some things. What is wrong with just saying, baby, look in the top drawer or the top shelf? That's where it is.
But how can y'all live somewhere and not, like, I'm sure y'all know where your golf clubs are. I'm sure you know where.
See.
We don't. We don't know where our stuff is.
I don't golf, so
I lose my car keys and wallet every day. I've lost so many sets of car keys. I have to drive something different. So what I'm telling you, that we don't always know where stuff is. Even if we have a place to put it, we still don't know where it is.
But this is my thing. If it's in the pantry, if it's in the kitchen, like, if we're not there, what are you guys gonna do? Just not eat ketchup that night? Like,
we're gonna call you.
Yeah, get them packets out of the drawer.
Or DoorDash some more ketchup.
But y'all can find the pack. No, I'm playing. Oh my goodness, that's terrible. I'm OCD. I have, like, key ring. I hate wasting any time of my life looking for things that I should know where they are. So every single thing has a place. Like, I am anal. If you use scissors and don't put it back, I will know, because there's a spot for there's a spot for everything in my house. Anywho, okay, yeah, I was hearing it too. All right, so let's get to question number 3 as prompt. Well, real quick, can we do a quick like test, like check, and make sure that we are not still at 8? That's just
we're 14 now.
Okay, thank y'all. Okay, see, I gave y'all the benefit of the doubt. You have to be reminded, and it's okay, because I remember too. And by the way, if anyone's on a cell phone and you got your comments open, you might not see the like button, so you have to close the chat and then like it and then come back in. Okay. She said that's why your women should say, baby, the keys are here. The ketchup is there.
Thank you.
So simple.
Oh my goodness. Okay. All right, so here we go. Let's go.
It's the same
now
reason
it's not
y'all get
unmuting.
hungry. You want to taste whatever we buy. Are you hungry? No, I'm not hungry. I don't want anything to eat until the food shows up. Well, let me taste what you have.
Yeah.
Like, I asked you 5 minutes ago, were you hungry? And we just accepted. Fine. You know what? You can have a taste. It's the same thing.
I think I'm the only woman who's not like that, and I always know what I want. I got my issues, but that's never been mine. Like, you ask what I want to eat, and I'm so specific at all times. You smile at Somalia. Are you the girl who knows or doesn't know?
But I know where it's at, and I'll tell you, because I don't want you to keep asking me. And then I lose my cell phone at home. I stay by myself. I lose my cell phone several times a day. I'm walking around here by myself. Where's my phone? So if somebody's looking for something, I know where it is. I'll tell them.
I've lost my cell phone in my hand before. I'm that person. Like, I believe my phone before I leave, and I'm really looking for it.
Me too.
Terrible. Okay, here's the next question. Could you marry a woman your mother could not stand? And Lenora, you have kids, right?
I'm sorry, what?
You have children?
Yes.
Okay, so we can get the take for the mom's perspective too. Like, how would you feel if your kid was able to marry someone that you could not stand? Not like,
right. I have 2 grown daughters.
Okay, so imagine you had sons and brought home a girl that you did not like. Would that bother you if they just were like, I don't care, Mom, I'm gonna move forward?
Yes, it would.
Okay, guys, what are you saying? And I'll show the stats in just a second on what all the men said. But are we marrying a girl?
This one's a bit of a dicey subject for me because I personally don't have the best of relationship with both of my mothers, and that's unfortunate because I look to both my moms for advice on this kind of thing. but they haven't really been as active in my life as I would prefer for them to be in order for me to bring that kind of thing to the table. So I wouldn't mind like introducing them to my mom, to my mothers, and if they feel a type of way, then I'll be whatever. But you know, at the end of the day, like I bring my relationships to my father because he's been my rock for me. You know, I'll bring him around my brother and my sister. You know, I'll see how they interact. You know, with my father's side of the family. You know, and it's not that I don't love my mom's side of the family. It's just for me personally. You know, my father's side of the family. That's where my rock is. You know.
My mother, one of them discerning prayer warriors. She up at 6 a.m. praying, calling you by name. Like she met a girl once I'll tell this story real quick. There was a girl that I met, and my mother, I was talking to my mother for Mother's Day. She said, "Can I tell your mother Happy Mother's Day?" I handed the phone. I miss Jacob's mother. Happy Mother's Day. She said, "Will you hand the phone back to my son, please?" And she told me in that moment, she said, "That woman has deep-rooted issues you'll never be able to understand."
Oh my God. Burn men.
And she was 1,000% correct.
Oh,
My mother can't
That's a
stand
mama.
her. Her connection to God is strong. If she
Wow.
told me she couldn't stand it, I'm listening. She done proved herself too many times that she's correct. That woman had a whole ton of issues that I ended up finding out later. But yeah,
That's why I believe it's important to have
my mother told me
counseling. You know, in the
past. I'm listening to her. I don't know who. She talked to God at 6 a.m. in the morning. Like, so I'm gonna look. If she tell me to leave it alone, I'm gonna listen
to her.
Your mom had discernment.
Her discernment is strong. Anything she did, my dad did that she told him not to do, failed miserably.
Wow.
He's even buying a car. If she picked a car that he liked and she said, "Don't buy that car," he bought it anyway. It gave him tons of problems. So now, if she say don't marry that woman, I'm gonna listen to her. Sorry, ma'am. It was nice knowing you, but I'm gonna go ahead and go home. Take my ball and go home. So nah.
What about the ladies? If you were dating a guy who's deeply in love, let's say you're dating Jacob and his mom says, "Oh no, not her." Could you still move forward if the guy wanted to marry you? Would you have to have the mother's blessing?
That is a hard one. It just depends. I think you have to know your mom well enough. You gotta know him well enough, and you gotta know yourself well enough to kind of make that decision and say. And then too, like we're just talking about being very well discerning, and that you know for sure that you vetted this man properly enough, so you are at a place of understanding where you know this is where you want to be. So it could be your mother that's against it, but it could be other people too, because depending on who your circle is, there could be some disagreement there for reasons that have absolutely nothing to do with you or him. So I think there has to be a little bit more understanding there to understand why don't y'all like them? You know what I mean? Because some people, especially when it comes to family, baby, them folks can be sometimes that clock don't be ticking right. You know what I'm saying? And so you have to know that before you can take somebody else's advice. So be discerning and have some understanding and consider the source when it comes to decisions like that.
And he says, "I'm not marrying my mother." Here's the thing. So I've been fortunate. So when I was married before, my mother-in-law, fabulous, rest in peace. She recently passed, well, like within the last year or two. But amazing. Saw me as a daughter, treated me like a daughter. I'm fortunate now. My mother-in-law is fabulous. She actually just landed in Dallas today. Looking forward to visit with her. But she's amazing. Like, I hit the jackpot twice. So I couldn't imagine not having a good relationship with, the bonus mom. And I have a very close friend who has the worst relationship with her in-laws, and it actually caused her divorce because the husband just would not stick up for her. I mean, they were like ruthless. It wasn't like, I feel like they don't like me. It was like, no, they were saying so to her face and just being cruel. So I don't know if I could handle if there was a divide.
But that's a different kind of situation. If they're being cruel to her and then he's not stepping in at all, like that in itself is, it don't matter what his family think. You already know point of view in regards to you and how much he actually cares about you. If he's not willing to stand up for you with his family, I baby, you gotta go. There's no way I can stand up for you. I wouldn't care what his family thought. If he's not gonna stand up for me, then there's no need for me to be with you at all. Because
yeah, absolutely. And I totally agree with you. You know, if I were to ever introduce the person that I'm dating to either of my moms and had to, you know, say or do some stuff, I'd be like, nah, because I'm not with that personally. Yes, I'm a family oriented guy, but if you're gonna say something, you know, derogatory or anything, or to any other family members, and then I find out about it, you know what I'm saying? Then I'm keeping her away from you, like for real. That's
so. I wish I had listened to my mom when she told me she didn't like somebody one time, because she ended up being a hoe, and I spent 2 years of my life being embarrassed while I was in the military. So I wish I had listened.
Yikes!
I agree. I wish I would have listened as well. My mom was just like yours as well, Paul, and she was extremely discerning, and to the point where she was like, nope, he's not the one. And I was like, what? You didn't even meet him. You don't even, like, you didn't give him a chance, nothing. And she was like, nope, I already know. I already know by the Spirit. And I was so mad. Mm-hmm. But she would have saved me years, honestly, of heartache and a lot of different things. But I was stubborn and I didn't listen, and I learned the hard way. So, I understand, but yes, I was going to be one of those people that I'm going to do it. I'm going to marry him anyways, you know, and that was not a wise choice. Fighting your family sometimes sometimes it's right, but a lot of times it's not. So,
and it's finding that balance.
I think it's important to have a rapport too. You know, with whether it's the other person with your mom or you with their mom, to have that rapport. Otherwise, in the long run, it can put a wedge between you.
Yeah,
and you want that love between everyone anyway. You know, that's important. Ideal. That's important. You're going to spend holidays together. You're going to do things together. You want love in the midst of you. So I think it's important.
I like that. Love in the midst of you. I have a confession, you guys. I was trying to figure out why I didn't have my stuff queued up over here, and I realized that was an old heading from last week. So we just covered that topic twice. All right. Luckily, you guys had something juicy to say. We have a juicy one that is actually supposed to be number 3. What is your stance on abstinence before marriage? This was also a submitted question.
I am all for it. I am all for it.
This is a very popular one. A bunch of ladies were like, thank you for asking. I said, I can't take credit for this one. All right,
I have trouble with my screen.
You said what?
I have trouble with my screen. I don't think I can read it. I don't know. I'm going to let y'all go ahead. I'm just going to.
Is that an audio difficulty?
What?
Audio?
I don't know why you said that.
Okay, so you didn't hear this from me, but if your camera gets turned off, you'll just miraculously disappear from the stage. I'm just saying. Okay, but let's show. This is what the men. I won't put the men on blast. Okay, here are their stances. 28% said I desire to wait until marriage to have sex, which blew my mind with the numbers. 26% said I'm willing to wait if my partner asked me to, and 45% said no, not waiting. So was anyone else surprised by these percentages?
I'm not.
Definitely.
No.
No.
I was surprised.
Let's hear from the ones who were surprised. Which one surprised you? Because I got one that.
I was surprised. I thought more men would not be willing to wait, and I was very happy that so many would be willing, because that would be my stance. I believe in abstinence before marriage because God ordained it in marriage. So, you know, that would be best, and I would encourage those men who are not willing to wait that they should wait.
Right.
And if they have this quality woman, she's worth the wait. You know?
Actually, I think you did another poll that said, like, if you would have waited. Yeah. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I also asked, I think, if you met an amazing woman, you know, would you walk away from her because of that one aspect? You know, it is very interesting. Let's see. I don't know why this thing is not charging. Let's see what they have to say in the comments. Okay. Oh goodness. Okay. No, I'm not going to read any of those. You guys can read those.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now I want to see them. Let me see.
I'm just saying, think about it, right? So seriously, no, I'm not waiting to have sex with anyone that I'm dating. I'm probably not waiting to be. Only thing that I may wait is being exclusive, and that's a big ask from me, just based on my circumstances. And two, there's not a whole lot that I get in the short term that even makes the long term worth it. So for me to just think that I'm going to arbitrarily not have sex with someone that I'm dating is crazy to me. Like, I don't go buy cars without test driving them.
Here we go.
Yeah, I don't do any of that stuff. Like, so I'm going to commit to someone long term that I don't know that if we're compatible in one of the most important ways. Like, that's just doesn't make, as a man, that doesn't make sense to me.
Question for you. The car, the used car analogy. Y'all ladies know I'm going to go there.
Not a used car, it's a new car, because we haven't had sex yet.
Okay, so the new car. So when you test drive, let's say you go to the Bentley dealership and you test drive, which car do they give you to test drive?
Ooh. The car that I asked for.
Okay, so the car that you asked for, is it the same make and model, or is the actual car that you're going to be driving off the lot?
If there's so about that, right? When people made that defense against this, you can tell they haven't bought a lot of cars. If you go out to a car dealership and use Bentley specifically, so we can use them. If you go out there before you set your tour up, they have that car waiting for you to go test drive it. You're only going to go 3 miles. You're going to go a mile and a half there, a mile and a half back. So I know what the anti-argument to that is, but now that we know how it actually works, I go to the dealership. I say I want that black Bentley with the red interior and the red and black and red rims. They have it out front waiting for me because they know my financing is good. So I go get in the car and I test drive it. If I like it, we go back and get the deal done, and I go home.
So what you're saying is you don't drive a test drive car. You drive the actual car that they're selling as brand new.
Yes, because if I was gonna if you apply that to women, then should I be hitting someone else while I wait on you?
No, I'm asking because you made the analogy. So what I'm saying is, so let's say, Willie, you drive that car. You decide, you know what, it doesn't handle the way I thought, and I really don't want this one. Now you put it back on the lot.
Okay.
Now someone else does not get to have that brand new car because you have now driven it off the lot.
I mean, the car is still brand new until it's registered in someone's name. So there's also that.
No.
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 Yes.
Because the thing is,
when it's registered and titled. I mean, we can get into the argument of that now if anybody just wants to be wrong.
Because the thing with that though is, if you're gonna go to the dealership and test drive that car, you know what I'm saying? Let's say there's something that you didn't like about it, you could put it back on the line. You're gonna go to something new. Because if I go to a dealership and I say I want to test drive this car, if I'm handling it and if I don't like it, I'll be like, okay, maybe it ain't for me. I can go on to something new. That's how I operate.
You can do the same thing with women, and women do the same thing with men. Here's where you and I differ. She doesn't like you, and you're not enough for her. She can quit you, and you don't like her, and she's too strong for you.
Here's where you and I differ.
Experience.
As a Christian by default, growing up, I was always taught, no sex before marriage, no sex before marriage, no sex before marriage. And as I grew up, I kind of learned, getting to know women beyond just, that sexual aspect of it. Now, I did dibble and dabble, I'm not gonna lie, here. So but I still maintain my level of respect and substance for a woman to not pursue those types of things, at least early on. Because if I can date you and we're not feeling each other, how am I going to then look at you and say, oh, I still want to smash? You know what I'm saying? I'm not finished yet. Because there is no way, at least from my point of view, that I'm going to even entertain sleeping with you if I don't have some kind of relationship connection with you outside of just pursuing things sexually. I want to get to know your mind. I want to get to know how you treat people. I want to know how you are around your family. Saying, can I look at you and say, hey, I want to do this, I want to do that. I want to build that connection. You know, that to me, if we have that on lockdown, that'll make that extra part even 10 times better, at least in my opinion, because I'm willing to wait. I don't look at women just for sexual pleasure. You know what I'm saying? But I respect those that are not, they're gonna be, you know what I'm saying? I'm not willing to wait. I can respect that wholeheartedly. But
you good? So there's 4 implications that you made. One, that just by me saying this, I must not respect women. I must not want to get to know women past the.
I was not implying that at all.
Your logic implied it, sir. That was the assertion you made using the logic you did. So then also that you were born in the church and you did all that stuff. Congratulations for that too. And then also that you know that you're not going to rush anything early. The difference between your opinion and mine is your circumstances and mine. I don't have to do that.
Okay.
If I chose to do those things, it's something I choose to do. However, coming up in the church, I get to know women before I sleep with them. I'm not just knocking down every woman I can. I do build with them before I do that. And then more importantly, it's not about a respect thing for them. It's about a respect thing for myself, because her vagina is cool, it's magical, but it's not special, nor is it rare. My time is though. So it's not like some value loaded exchange between men and women, because it's not. So when you let a woman, in my opinion, when a woman says, well, I'm going to withhold sex while we're dating, building a relationship, it's put on a pedestal then. And that's something that I don't deal with from women because of that puts me in a frame now that her vagina and her sex is going to be some sort of reward, and it's not. So each implication that you made is based on the circumstances that you live in. That's what you have to do. I don't have to do those things.
Okay. I can respect that.
I'll say this. I can. Yeah, I have. But what we doing? There's got to be something else going on to make that work for me. And what I mean by that is, like, we got to be doing something that keeps me interested and attracted. If it's strictly, we're just not having sex and there's nothing else going on. And I mean, there's got to be something, some type of, I don't want to say sex is intimacy, but something in that ballpark that we're doing that helps me, that keeps that going. Like if it's strictly we're not having sex and all we're gonna do is talk to each other every day, I don't know if that's gonna work for me. We gotta have something else going on, but it's to work. I've done it. I've waited and had mixed results, I'll say, on both ends. But if we're not having sex, like what are we doing? Like there's got to be some type of.
So is your goal sex then?
No,
if that's not what
sex.
you're doing? Okay.
No, goal isn't sex. I mean, I want to be with somebody that I can build a connection with, but sex is a part of that. Can I abstain from sex? So so I grew up Kojic, and so I can relate to the brother who was talking about being a Christian. And in Kojic, you don't do anything. Like you don't listen to secular music. You don't go. I didn't see a movie in the theater until I was a senior in high school. Like all of that stuff was worldly, and it was in my opinion, religion was just misunderstood. A lot of it was tradition. I really didn't understand the why, but the rules were, you don't do this, and so I didn't do it. But it was for the wrong reasons. So the goal isn't sex. Yes, I can abstain, but there has to be other things going on. It just can't be about sex. And I think that the way this question is worded, it makes it like I think that what you're asking, is it just about sex? No. But there has to be other things going on that we're building, working on. You know, there's got to be some other connections and things that are happening for it to work. So you can abstain. But can I just abstain? It's just a rule. We don't have sex and then we just kind of talk every day like that. We got to be doing something that builds that type of connection that I want to have.
So what would that look like for you though, as far as the connection you want to have and other things going on if you're not having sex with somebody?
Like how go ahead. I'm sorry. I'll let somebody else.
I could say I've been there, done that already. And I went down the marriage road. And I just say this. Let's just say when you do premarital counseling, right? And they make a suggestion. You wait 6 months, maybe 8 months, or something like that to see how y'all make out, right? Now, if the man and the woman together already know that they want to be together, and they common denominator is the word of God, and that they know that they're going to do what they need to do in good times and bad times, then that's what you do. So they say, well, it seems like everything seems match up. Everything looks good on paper, but what about the financial aspect? I say, well, we trust in God for that. We're gonna do this. We're gonna handle it. We're gonna do what we need to do. So they make the suggestion, no, we don't think you should wait. You should see how other married couples are handling it and see whether after 6 months whether y'all be together. Well, let me put it this way. I told my wife at the time, God bless her soul, I said, if we wait 6 months, we ain't getting married. Because I already knew that if that wasn't our decision, what we were going to do, then it's not going to work. But I already knew that we could make it. And we made that decision. We didn't wait 6 months and we went forward. I mean, it's different for everybody. It all depends on what type of connection you have with one another. You know what I'm saying? But if we would have waited, it wouldn't have happened. And that's from a man perspective, that's how I was. But I knew I was ready. Whether we had sex or not, I'm telling you, you got to know for yourself. So that's my 2 takes on it.
I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we got 17 likes and 28 people watching. What is that? 11 people who are refusing to hit the button.
What are your thoughts on everything that we just explained, Yonci?
What's that?
What are your thoughts on everything all the guys just said?
Well, I'm gonna fuss at these people first. All right, we got now 30 people watching, and we got 17 likes. So let's get those likes up just a little bit so that we can move on. I told you so. YouTube knows that you guys are enjoying the show because it can't read your minds. All right, we're at 21. That's good. All right, let's get up. Let's see if we can get all the good people to go ahead and hit that like button. Like I said, if you have to close the chat so you can see the like button, you might have to do that. Oh, we got 21. Very nice. All right, we'll keep going until I get 23. 23, we'll keep going with the show. So, all right. Sorry, y'all had a little technical issue. I don't know why, but my charger at right here, my station was not working, so I had to go get a second charger. So I'm back.
We're at 24.
Okay, we have somebody who is here, but you have to turn the camera on before I can add you to the stage. So please go ahead and come on camera so we can see. All right, guys. So let's see. Hold on. Let's do a quick refresh. See where we are. 21. We got to get
26.
What did I say? 22 or 23? Oh, I can't refresh. It's 26 now?
Yes, 26.
Okay. All right. There we go. I'm feeling better. Now we're at 32. All right. So new people, when you come in, you got to hit that like button. Okay. All right. So to be honest, Paul, I was distracted getting my charger cord. So I heard some people say that they would not be willing to wait. Some people say that they would be willing to wait. Beyond that, I'm not even gonna lie to you. I couldn't really tell you that much as I was trying to make sure this thing doesn't die. All right, let me go ahead and hide that here. Was there anything in particular you wanted me to touch on?
No.
Okay. All right, we're gonna move on to question number 3. Welcome to the stage, Cam. Nice to have you, sir. All right, so let's go ahead and number 4. How many sexual partners is it okay for a woman to have? Now, mind you, this is not in general, like they're just telling women what it should happen. It's what would be a turnoff for you, like if it's past this number. But first, we got to give a big shout out to Blockchain Beeman. Thank you so much for the $10. I appreciate that. Yes, Cam knows. Golf clap. Thank you. Very, very generous. I appreciate that. Mama could buy groceries next week. Okay, letting the kids know. But here's the question. Let's see as we go back to it here. I wish they would let me do both this one and the thing. Okay, so the question was being asked, was for you. Like, what is your preference? So this one, I'm not going to put y'all on the spot unless someone just wants to volunteer to share. But these were the answers that the guys gave. The largest group said it doesn't matter to me, which we could talk about that in just a second. That's funny, Jacob. The next biggest group, 26% said, 6 to 10 partners would be okay. I could handle that. 20% said 5 or less, preferably. And then the smallest group, 19%, said anywhere from 11 to 15. So if they found out this is how many partners, their person had, that's how many they would be okay with. So any thoughts? Did any of these surprise y'all?
It didn't surprise me. And I'll be honest with you, Yonci, I did not vote on this one because I didn't vote. Let me explain.
I'm just kidding. I'm just messing with you.
Yeah, I didn't vote on this one because
off my panel.
Yeah, I didn't vote on this one. I didn't vote on this one because for me, any of these scenarios could happen, but and for me personally, I care more so about the experience behind it. And allow me to elaborate.
Okay.
Because see, a woman could have, say, a low body count of like 3, but what are those 3? She might have been molested. Maybe I shouldn't say that on YouTube. She might have been SA'd, and so she's very guarded. You know what I'm saying? So she might not approach, that kind of thing because of the pain from her past. And that's fair. You know what I'm saying? Also, a woman can have a low body count, right? But she could be very, again, protective of who she chooses to sleep with. You know what I'm saying? But she can be very, out there and look good and tour with her homegirls and put herself out there in that kind of manner. But she'd be like, if I'm going to approach a man in that kind of manner, I'm like, nah, you know what I'm saying? So she can be very guarded and trustworthy of herself. But then a woman could also have a high body count, right? For example, and then be in the SCX industry. That I could look at that and be like, okay, maybe I gotta, be a little careful with that one. So for me, it's like it can go both ways. But I'm not the type of person to be like, how many people did you sleep with? What happened? I have to let that kind of conversation kind of flow because again,
that's awkward on a first date.
Yeah. I would never do that on a first date. Never. I would never approach that conversation on a first date, but
that's at least second date. I mean, definitely,
Yeah, I would let her, as we continue to get to know each other, if she's willing to open up to me about that, then I will gladly give her the safe space, so she could do that. And people are probably laughing at me in the chat because of how I feel. But if you really, really think about it, a lot of women have bad things happen to them and they don't talk about it. And it could be a triggering thing. So you have to be cognizant of that. That's all.
No, I appreciate.
So I wanted to chime in on this one, maybe to add a caveat to this. Has anybody ever asked y'all, the women, like, it's the third date, like, and just very formally outright asked y'all this on a date?
I had somebody ask me directly. It wasn't on a third date though. I had gotten to know them pretty well, and we were in a relationship, but. Yeah. Okay,
but no, I mean not in a relationship. I'm saying you're just dating. Has that ever happened to any of y'all?
No. Not outright. No.
I'm glad you asked that because I was gonna ask me and do y'all really care?
Yes.
How much does it matter? How
they
much?
care, but
yeah.
they're not going to answer anyways, so they don't care. So.
Okay, yeah, you got to give a disclaimer. They care if it's their lady. They don't care if she's mattress food.
Yeah.
So
mattress food is crazy.
Mattress food is wild.
I'm like, what the Brotherhood did not approve this term.
Mattress food.
Wow.
Okay, we need to start. This is gonna take you over the top.
Mattress food, nah, man. Throw the flag.
That is so.
I ain't never heard of
first flag on the play.
No mattress food.
Mattress food is crazy.
The Brotherhood did not approve that term.
Yeah, that's disrespectful.
To answer her question, I think the men that can care. The ones that can't don't.
I can agree with that.
I mean, you have to think, because like my man, right? So one of the things I admire about Cam is, you know what I'm saying, Cam, you mind if I check, you know, what I always give you credit for? You know what I'm saying, the whole waiting until thing.
Oh yeah. So you want to say that, or you got it?
Yeah, I'm super proud of Cam. Like Cam is one of the few men that I've met that, you know, got with his wife and they waited for each other. I think that is super dope because it worked for both of them, right? Now, on the other end, though, what I also admire about Cam is that Cam has not been the typical guy who was in a situation that he was in that situation because he had to be. He was in that situation because he chose to. Yeah. It wasn't that he had a lack or, you know what I'm saying, opportunity to with her and other women. The fact that he chose to wait for that one person is super dope to me. But also now that Cam is, you know, single, what I admire about him is that the transition from him being, you know, waiting to also, you know, being able to enjoy the access that he has, I think that's dope. And that's why it's also super admirable for Cam to have some of the old traditions that he has in these points, because we've had this conversation on other platforms or other episodes before. And what I like is that in the discourse that we're able to have is that, you know, he still brings that, you know what I'm saying, old school, like I waited to, well, I waited, but I didn't have to. So I appreciate that. But when you ask like what men think, if we've seen it where guys who like don't care about, you know, what a woman's done in the past, it's because they don't have the ability to. They have 2 or 3 women, you know what I'm saying, a year that they didn't even get their attention for. So they're just happy to have a woman's attention. So she can tell him that, you know, she may have tried drugs before, or, you know, when she was a teenager, or she could have a drinking problem, or maybe she's on that powder or whatever. And as long as, like, you know, she's good now, he has to accept that. But then there are others who don't, because they're like, it's, you know, it's 60 of, you know, it's, I'm not going to take the girl from Phoenix that, you know, her favorite food is meth over, you know what I'm saying, any of these other girls that are just regular and, you know, may smoke some weed before. I don't want to say like she had 50 bodies and the girl that had 5, because, you know, that triggers people that have 50 bodies. So I just use a drug reference. So he may just take the girl who smokes a little bit of weed instead of the girl, you know what I'm saying, who is a hardcore meth head, because he can wait and he has the ability, you know, he's got 40 women in his inbox, you know, versus the guy that has 2 or 3 a year. I mean, their responses are going to be different.
And then can I add to that? So and I appreciate you, Beeman, for seeing that, because like I said, I do want to provide hope for people who are in different scenarios. But have you guys ever heard that? Yeah, have you guys ever heard that song by PJ Morton? It's called "Go Through Your Phone." Yep. Have you guys heard that?
I haven't heard that.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you the lyrics, and it's cool because it actually talks to, I think, most men's perspectives on certain topics. So that's why I asked the question earlier about, has any man in dating just been like, "Hey, what's your number? How many knobs have you slobbed?" Like nobody, like guys don't. Oh wait, is that too much for YouTube?
No.
Oh,
I was like, wow, okay.
Oh, like
verbiage tonight.
We just weren't ready.
Oh no! What? No, I mean, I use it in, like, in what's the name, but I'm saying, like, most times guys don't. They, like I said, they'll ask if they even feel comfortable to ask the question is after they're already in it, because men are very visual creatures. So that song I was referencing, "Go Through Your Phone," it says, "I don't want to go through your phone. Some things are better left unknown. I'd rather be living in my daydream." So a lot of times, men, they might know if they actually think and go down the rabbit hole about your experiences being a modern woman in a westernized country, but no man wants to actually hear that in the dating phase. We ain't even locked in. So he might be bold enough to ask eventually, which to me, like, I would do it for research purposes, possibly, but I still don't really want to know that number. You just happen to hear about different relationships. You know, people have sex in relationships, but like no man wants to think about, and I think I said in one of the comments, about his girlfriend, or even his wife, or even his potential girl being, you know, tapped out or becoming mattress food to something. Like nobody wants to have those images in their head because it would affect their, you know. Yeah, you did it. You did it.
No, I'm laughing because I couldn't even take credit. That was an SDism. My buddy SD,
where is he when we need him? Join the panel.
I was tempted to text him right now and say, "Y'all need to go crazy over your mattress food."
Oh my. Do it.
Matt, yeah, I'm putting that. That's in my new lexicon. You know, I love words, so that's a. I
just texted to my son. And I was like,
I'm literally telling him
mattress food.
That's
brotherhood.
hilarious.
Gotta
That's
come
gonna be
on.
stuck in my head for the rest of the night.
That term is not approved by the brotherhood.
Thank you.
You gotta feed your mattress. What if it's a sleep number though? Like, what if your sleep
Whoa, yo, that goes crazy. He said it was a black hole. That's nuts. He said,
I don't like your tone, sir.
Oh man, that's funny. Mattress food is crazy.
Wow.
That is insane.
See, but listen, Yonci, I think guys, I think if they're smart, they would know that no one gets good at something, like I'm saying, without a lot of repetition. So anytime a man has experienced a woman who was good at something that we all love, a part of us understands that there was a lot of practice put into doing this, and we just met. So we know, but we're also able to turn that part off of our brain that makes us wonder, how did she do this? Like,
yes.
how did she learn the coordination of all the hands and other stuff? Like, because she's clearly a master. So like, they say it takes 2,000 hours to master something. Like, if you break that down, how long it takes a man to get to the finish line and divide that means that she's put in a lot of work.
Oh Lord.
So we just hope that it's
But you can put in work.
Yeah. We just hope that it's not with like multiple people, like with 40, 50
Yeah,
people.
that's your hope.
One or two guys. Because Blondie said she was in a relationship for 26 years. So like in that 26-year span, like she had one. That's like ideal. But then a woman who's been single for 26 years, if you go at the average rate, women have 1.4 partners a year. 26 times 1.4, that's a lot. That's the Dallas Cowboys.
And we didn't even get in.
No, you go ahead, Tim.
Oh no, it's like and the thing that it's not even mentioned there, and this is why I said like a lot of times we could turn off that part of our brain, is that we don't even want to get into the actual other acts that occur because they don't count certain things. So like that's why we don't like asking that question. Like we'll talk about it on social media and stuff like that, but I think most mature men, they're not going to go and ask that question. They're just going to assume, this and this and that. Like you said, like Beeman said, he's like, okay, if you have a good amount of experience, it's either because you had a good partner or you had many partners or many special friends, so. But yeah, we try not to think about that too much when it comes to like our actual. Yeah.
So I'm about to ask my entire contact list how many men and women they've been with. See who responds.
Oh, God.
Here's a question we really wanted. So let me put this out here. So again, at this big age, I'm in my 40s. At this big age, most women I interact have children. They have at least one. So you've had sex with somebody,
and you got a reminder of the fact they had sex with somebody. Up your food.
I'm curious. Again, I'm not playing my hand, but I am curious. How does this play out with sexual partners and abstinence when you have three? Let's say you have 3 children. You meet somebody and a guy is talking to you and you want to get to know. How does it play out then? Because you've had sex with somebody. So the whole thing about being a virgin, that ship has sailed.
And crashed. Titanic.
If you've been married and you have children, the sex was with your husband. I was a virgin when I got married at 25. And my children were with my husband. And I've not been with somebody after. And I'm planning on waiting. And so your body count is 1. And the reason you have children is because you were married. And, I believe God honors that. And of course, you need to be in agreement together, with the man that you're going to wait. And he needed to be on the same page. But I believe God honors that. And what's important to me is being obedient to the word of God. And I have children. I'm not a virgin, but I was. And I had them when I was married. So
I would respect that if I came across a woman in that same position that only had been with one guy, made him wait. That makes sense because the guy that my predecessor also had to wait. And it's an admirable thing because again, I don't have to worry about you being stuck in your highest setting. Like you don't have that one frame of reference to compare me to.
Right.
However, that's rare. Like you are literally a unicorn in a world full of donkeys. Like
And
it's
she's a
just
sweet
you.
unicorn too.
You're the only, like you're a unicorn. One man in 26 years. Love that. However, that's not the average woman's position. And that's also not the average man's position either. Because, like Jacob said, a lot of women who want to, rewrap their virginity and close their legs just after they've had kids by 2 or 3 guys, and then they get with us and then think that, okay, well, you're going to wait. And then it's like no, I'm not. Like, and then we have a reminder of the fact that you have relationships before us. Like Jacob mentioned, you have children that, we're going to have to cover and take care of if we do become a family. So,
right.
Idea that now, you want to cross your legs at the knees and ankles.
So a lot of people want. No, he's nailed it. What a lot of people, what some do, let me not say a lot because I don't know everybody and I don't know there's a ton of people in the world, but they want the experience. They present themselves as she just explained, which every man on here said, bravo, I value that. But you haven't lived that way. You've done nothing up to this point until 2 minutes before you met me to make that decision that that's what you were going to do. And so that's what we were talking about earlier. It's like, Jake, what does it look like for you? So that's when I meet a woman, and I have met women like that. They say, hey, Jake, this is how I live. I respect that. That is a beautiful thing. What I'm finding is you've been having a wonderful life. I ain't saying mattress food. I get out that comment. You've had a wonderful life doing whatever you want, and for me, because you think I'm a good man, now you want to switch it up. Like, and so that's been my experience. I won't speak for anybody else, but that's been my experience.
Yeah,
I look at you on Instagram, and you are having the time of your life. I mean, you are.
You and I have a similar. Yeah,
but today you met me, and now you want. Oh my God, let me switch it up.
Yeah, I'm not going. I don't want to be the guy that you try to raise your standards for. Like, absolutely not. We're not me. No.
Yeah, I agree. You and I have a similar experience. I'm not 40 yet. I'm 35, and a lot of the women that I come across oftentimes have at least 1 or 2 children, and it's like, okay, I have to worry about the fact that you've been with somebody in the past, and and that's so forth and so on. And of course, you don't blame the children and everything like that. I kind of don't, and this is just my personal experience, so please don't take this the wrong way. But I agree with you in what you said. Is like, okay, I was the guy that waited for sex. You know what I'm saying? I was a virgin throughout high school and up to my mid-20s. You know what I'm saying? I've done my things, you know what I'm saying, that I'm not proud of. I will gladly admit to that. You know what I'm saying? I wish I could have waited. I wish I would have done things right. And I really wish that I didn't have my heart broken by the one person I was really waiting for. You know what I'm saying? But that happened, and I'm not going to go in too deep into that. But what I hate about it is that, I become somewhat of an incel in that regard. Because in my experience, even if I was not a Christian, I would meet women that'll be like, either they would make me wait for it or make me spend money on it. You know what I'm saying? Now, waiting is one thing. I got no problem doing that. Willie, you can do all that all you want to, but this is my experience, so you will respect it. Okay? So, I have no problem waiting. I just don't like when that part can be conditionalized and force me to be like, all right, I got to take a back seat regardless, because you want me to pour all my energy into you for only a fraction of the time that you truly want. Because I've never met a woman that doesn't say that she doesn't want to be in a committed relationship and that wants to be married. I've never heard a woman directly say, I do not want to be married. Of course, there are women out there that don't want to be married. I'm not saying that. I just haven't met them personally. I can't look on my phone and be like, okay, this person is on and so forth and so on. But I just really wish that in my personal life that women can understand that I'm willing to wait, and I'm going to wait for you because I respect women in that regard. But sadly, I don't feel appreciated because of that. And I'll leave it there.
Yeah, you can have a question, Yonci, or Yonci, and I guess the women of the state. What do you teach women, especially let's say they might be on a journey that they have religious or moral or ethic values? Of course, I think that's pretty much easy. What you would teach them, like, hey, stand on your business, whatever that belief system that you have about having sexual encounters with someone prior to marriage or whatever their barometer is. What do you teach the ones who are like, hey, like, I would eventually like to do that, but I would like to do that with somebody who I think is special. Like, let's say, basically, like you said, drawing your boundaries. How do you help them to express that towards men? Because I feel like a lot of women sometimes may want to be better at that, but maybe they felt pressured, or they felt like they don't know what to do in the dating market. Like, hey, it's not necessarily a religious thing, but I just want to do more. Like, how do you tell them to approach their sexual boundaries? You tell them to have that already, or how do you tell them to communicate that in dating?
It's actually interesting because that's one of the submitted questions. It's very close to it, which we'll be getting to. But what I find, and I think somebody might have said it a little bit ago, most men are not asking if a woman is a virgin or not, or if they, how many partners they've had. So I wouldn't necessarily advise her to say, hey, I did this in the past, but now I'm trying to do this. I would just say, this is what I'm doing. Like, I would prefer to wait or something like that. I wouldn't go into a ton of details unless he asked and she felt comfortable going further. But I would just say, I'm not quite ready for that. I'll let you know when I am. Or if it's a marriage thing, you say, that's something I'm saving for marriage. But I would give the same advice to someone who's a virgin versus somebody who had intimacy before. Does that answer what you're asking?
Yes, but how early in the game would you tell someone, let's say, to have, because you're basically saying that woman should have that something figured out already, and she should, like, when would that be presented? Let's say if it was, hey, I'm waiting an X amount of time, or like if it's a very specific thing, like, when would you tell them to communicate?
Only because this is literally the question. I'm going to save my answer.
Oh, no, okay.
Yeah. No, that's okay. It's ironic. That was like dead on. Did anybody else? No, that's fine. That just means we're here. Did anyone else have a comment? Somebody had put in the comments that I have a question. You could just she was saying I have a question. Sorry, she was making a correction. Is there a commitment involved if men don't want to wait? My problem is men say they don't want to wait, but after sleeping together, it's I don't want a relationship right now. So I would say with regard to that, a lot of times guys will say whatever they want to get in your pants. That's just first and foremost. But sometimes, even if he's not out there like, ha, 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 I'm just going to sleep with you and throw you away, he might have actually taken time at that point, gotten to know you, and was like, yeah, I'm not really into you, which is why I advise my girls to take, even if you're not abstaining, take a period to get to know this person, because shoot, you might find things out about him that make you that may be a relationship with him. So my advice to women is don't do something with a man who's not your man that you will regret before he becomes your man. And each woman has her own boundaries as far as what she'll do while she's just dating a guy, what she'll do in a relationship with a guy, and what she'll do when she's married to a guy or engaged to a guy. And so I would say if you can sleep with the guy and you have no regrets, you're like, that was a good time. Like guys always say, well, they got theirs, so they should be just as happy. Not realizing most women have an emotional connection to it. It's not about climaxing specifically, although no woman wants a trash experience, but that doesn't mean that they're like, oh, I got all I needed. She's more than likely only doing that because she likes the guy. So if she feels regret, if she would feel regret having a crystal ball and knowing in 6 weeks he's going to be like, nah, this ain't for me, then you shouldn't do it. And same thing with like buying stuff, or, if there are certain things you're going to regret doing, then, maybe don't do it. Maybe don't post on social media. Maybe, it applies to everything. So hopefully that answers her question.
I think it was even SD that posted a thing about like women, I just lost it. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I know you were trying to get your turn, and then it's like, okay.
Yeah,
so
I'm distracted.
This one's going to be a little bit more lighthearted, okay? And the number 5, how would you react if a woman was flirting with you by sending you over a bucket of wings or a plate of wings or whatever those things are called if you're out eating? Now, y'all gave some really funny answers, by the way. So
I'm not gonna lie, I'll be like, wait a minute, where did these wings come from? Because like I'm gonna ask the person that brought them to me and be like, hey, where'd this come from? You know what I'm saying? Because then I would want the person to be like, hey, that was me. You know what I'm saying? Like, because if you're gonna start the conversation, I'm gonna want you to be like, hey, well, come over here. You bought them. Maybe I want to split them with you or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
One of the guys said
that's what she's getting at. That's what she's getting at. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what one of the guys said. I would be really grateful and share with the lady that I thought was hot. Like, oh my God. That was really funny. Okay, let's see. So here are some of these answers. One guy said in my Jodeci voice, come and talk to me. I really want to meet you. Okay, I had to sing. I couldn't read it. Okay, the next guy said, I'd say thank you. And if she appealed to me physically, we'd have a conversation and share the rings. To which I said, I think a lot of guys would base it on her attraction level. Another guy said, she better come on over and get her Boaz. This other guy said, eat them. Someone else said, that's smooth and original. Offer her first choice, flat or drum, and let's start conversing. This guy said, we go together. Like, she doesn't. Someone else said, I can get behind this kind of feminism. Okay, another guy said, I wouldn't have a problem with it at all. It's a very nice gesture, to be honest. I'd accept and probably pay for her tab. You guys are so sweet. Along with the wings she ordered for me. And if I'm available and remotely interested in her, I'd exchange info and see where it goes. That's very sweet. This guy said, now that's different. With a little think emoji. That's it. Definitely a conversation starter. Okay, I would ask if she would like to share and what is she drinking. I'll read one more. She has to be attractive before I can accept them, and don't give false hope. And then she's invited to come sit with me and let's talk. This was actually something that SV shared. He said that he was out and about with his guy friends, and a lady sent the wings. And she wasn't a looker, and he was like, to answer Naomi's question, yes, that actually happened in front of my.
Now, Yonci, I'm gonna flip this question to the ladies. like, has a guy ever, have you ever been on about and a guy or just some random person would just send you a drink? Because I've heard women say, that's a turn off if a guy were to announce send a woman a drink. Like, it's unattractive. I've never done that personally, although I would do something like that. I would watch myself because I don't want to give her something that she doesn't like. You know what I'm saying? Like, but for example, if I'm at the bar and a woman just sit next to me and we make conversation, I would buy her a drink in that regard. But I'm not going to sit at the bar, look at that lady, be like, I want to talk to her, and then go send her a drink. Like, I wouldn't do that personally.
So let me
I think it's sweet.
Ladies,
you sitting at the bar and there's some anonymous wings that just show up. You just minding your business.
I'm gonna look around and be like, "Yo, who sent me this?"
I'm trying to make sure I got this.
Wait. He's going somewhere. He's going somewhere. Yeah.
Okay, so I'll explain the setting. The server comes up and says, "Hey, this young lady sent you over some wings." Yeah, like they would do with a guy. This gentleman just, got your tab for you and your girls, or he wants to know what you're drinking and can he get the next one? Yes, the waiters explain. They don't just appear.
Okay, the waiter.
The napkins all crumpled.
Be like, yo, who
the dip has a little residue in there, like. Oh my God! Stranger danger. No, that's insane. And I think what most people would say, it has to do with no amount of kindness and good gestures and chivalry makes you attracted. So if a person is just, you're looking at them like, oh, my daddy raised me, don't accept something from someone that you don't want anything from, because they are going to expect something back. So I'm not that girl. I know a lot of women, and I've had a lot of ladies tell me a lot about, girl, you better get your da-da-da-da. Oh, he offering, ain't nobody make it. I'm like, I don't want that tab.
Signals.
I just can't imagine an attractive woman like me getting wings sent to me and then that woman being attractive. That's just not like an attractive woman thing to do. Like typically attractive people put themselves in your way. Like they'll put themselves in your way to get your attention. Because again, I mean, no disrespect to women, but generally speaking, it's understood that women don't like spending money, early on in relationships, let alone, before they get to know a guy. So, a 20-piece wing is like $24. Like a 36 if you're a Wingstop. I just don't see like an attractive woman being willing to invest that money unless she herself can eat the food when it comes back, which makes she's probably also.
Maybe she would eat that wings while making eye contact. Is that
because then she can pretend like, oh, I didn't even bring that to you. That was my order. I'm sorry. If you want.
That is smooth. That is smooth as crap. That is smooth as crap.
I would respect it. I'd be like, oh no, baby, I'm sorry. They brought me your food. You know what I'm saying? If I got to her table,
yes, that's my plate of wings. I'm so sorry.
If I got to her table and she was cute, then it's different. But I'm just saying, like, realistically speaking, that's not an attractive woman's ploy.
So I'll tell you, Beeman. So this is the thing. I'm actually I talked to quite a few women, and so I'm noticing that some of them want to start shooting their shot, especially because a lot of guys have stopped. They're not as in certain regions of the country. I've noticed that men aren't approaching women as much anymore because they're like, listen, more than likely this isn't going to do. I'm going to be a little bit more, I'll use social media, whatever else like that. So I've heard women actually starting to do this, actually attractive women. And I'm for the guys, if a girl sent you a plate of wings and you saw her, she's not attractive, are you going to still take them or are you just going to salute her and start eating the wings? Like, what are you going to do?
I would go talk to her. Just because she's not fine, I would just go talk to her still. And I sit down with her to eat. Because just because she's not attractive doesn't mean I have to be rude or ugly to her. But I'll just go sit down and, I'm somewhat funny so we can have a good conversation while I smash these wings and I still pick up the check, out of habit. But outside of that, well, let me get your number. No. Are you
in a relationship or are you gonna be like, I'm just not feeling this?
No, though, notice women are significantly more emotionally receptive, like reading the room to a man's energy when you're used to knowing what men are attracted to you look like, because most men are attracted to most women, or a lot of men are attracted to most women, and you guys know what it's like when you're not. I promise you, she's going to know that I am not physically attracted to her, but I do respect her as a person, and I'm willing to share a meal with you. That's me.
Yeah, you and I are definitely in agreement
So
there.
other two guys,
attracted to me, if we have a great conversation, I would still probably would want to connect with her and be like, hey, maybe this could blossom into like a business relationship or or just something like a networking kind of thing. So you never know what could happen in there. So you and I are in total agreement with that one, Willie.
I don't want to disrespect anybody's daughter. I mean, straight up, I love Willie's answer. I'm not going to disrespect anybody's daughter.
I like that.
So how are you doing? Play it out. How are you going to do it?
So I get the wings. I'm like, hey, who sent me these? The waitress is going to be like, she's going to give me, her face is going to tell me everything I need to know because she's going to be like, or she's going to be like, over here. And then I'm going to look. And then I'll take the wings and whatever my drink already got ordered, I'll go sit with her and talk to her if she's unattractive. If she's attractive, I'm not doing that. If you want to eat the wings and then look at her and be like, thank you, and then get up and go over there and walk and invite her to come sit with me. So that's the difference. Because in that way, I've invited her into my space and then she'll get up and come over and then, the frame is correct. But if, it's someone that I'm never going to see again, outside of maybe on like accident, I'm not going to invite her into my space.
Yeah, I gotta respond to Miss Delicious in the comments right here. She's saying she didn't send you the wings to network. Absolutely, she probably didn't send me the wings to network. But look here. Bro. Anything can happen though. Anything can happen. If a woman shoots her shot, or if a woman sends me food, and I look at her, even if I'm not physically attracted to her, probably I'll allow that to happen. But I'm going to sit down, I'm going to have a conversation with her, and let's see where things go. You know what I'm saying? If things improve to the point where I will want to shoot my shot, possibly, then maybe, yeah. But if we have a conversation, let's say for the sake of argument, right, I'm going to school for cybersecurity next month. Let's say she's in the tech space. So I would definitely want to pick her brain at the very least and be like, okay, what did you learn? How did you do this? That's how you develop connection. You know what I'm saying? So I can be like, okay, things didn't go romantically, but guess what? She's in the tech space. I'm trying to get into this.
Okay, let me ask you this. Wait, real quick.
I can improve my chances of getting into the tech space.
I have something to add. Let me add this. Let me add this real quick for you, and then I want to hear the two other young men to answer. I want the reenactment, a quick reenactment. So what about if you're talking about cybersecurity, right? You're talking about like, oh yeah, whatever. And then she puts her hands on your knee and she's like, listen, these wings are supposed to be exchanged for another body part.
Oh!
Woo!
You mattress food.
You're not getting no penis for a 20 piece. No.
I have never had that
what are you doing
before personally.
Okay.
No. I'm not.
What are you doing?
Like what?
I'd be like, I don't know. I can't be thrown in that hypothetical, man, because I've never had that happen to me.
Wings don't cost $40.
The only time I've had that happen to me was if we were already talking, and she was.
We all know that wings.
That's the only time that's ever happened to me. Never anything like that.
Sexual transaction costs $40. You know what I'm saying? Everybody. Wings don't cost $40. You think I'm about to give you a $6 discount on some penis? Absolutely not. No.
Oh.
Okay.
I'm gonna ask the ladies.
I want to hear from the ladies. We need a. Yeah.
I want to ask the ladies a question. Okay, let me cue this up. Let's say hypothetically, you shoot your shot at a guy and he is not interested in you. Would you rather that he lie and just say, "Oh, you know what? I'm in a relationship." You will never know he's lying. Or do you want him to come straight out and say, "I'm not interested. I'm not attracted to you"?
I'm very, very big on honesty. Okay. And I can be a very direct person. So my expectation is to receive the same. And I don't draw issue with that. So if you're not first, let me be clear too. I probably would not be that girl. I'm not going to be in your face like that. Like, hey, what's up with you? No, I'm not going to be that girl. But if in the event something like that happened, I would definitely want him to be honest and just say what it is. Like, you don't have to hold back from it. Just be honest and just say, hey, I'm not attracted to you. Or if you are taken, I got a lady or whatever, and then keep it moving.
Okay. What about the others of you?
I agree. Yeah. Honesty, 100%. Honesty, like, you'll gain my respect that way. And, a lot of guys, want us to be honest, and they respect our honesty. So it's that same, it's that same standard. Just be honest. Why be fake?
Okay. Right. Like, I wouldn't do that either, but I would say yes, to say thank you and be truthful.
So you want to hear he's not attracted? Okay. I don't know. I might appreciate him saying I'm in a relationship.
Well, not necessarily not to say I'm not attracted to you, but to just say I'm not looking for a relationship or something.
Yeah, just respectful. Your phraseology, your words,
But then that's lying though, because
that is lying. The girl next to you might be fine, and he's like, "Want to go talk to her right after."
I don't want to tell you I'm not looking for a relationship, and then the girl sitting next to you is gorgeous, and she hears that, and she might be turned off.
Yeah, she might be like, "Oh dang." Mm-hmm.
See what y'all say, or whatever Yonci says,
Yeah, I might want my little ego spared,
But I will say this, like on the other side of that, just as a woman, like now, if a guy approaches you and you're not attracted to him, you're not gonna take the chance and be direct and be like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm not attracted to you," or whatever. You probably are gonna lie. I know I have definitely been the person that lies, like, "Oh yeah, I'm dating somebody," or whatever, and then you kind of get the, you get interrogated and be like, "Is he good to you? Is he taking care of you?" All this stuff. It's like, sir, just please, I want this over with as quick as possible.
Yeah. I've definitely had.
So you have to be, as a woman, you have to be careful. If a guy's approaching you, you're not attracted to him, you don't want to, you don't want to make a scene or anything like that, but you also want to protect yourself. So protecting yourself in that moment means that you tell a lie or something, then okay.
You want to know the worst thing that I did to
my God,
somebody before it became common? I might have insinuated that I had an Adam's apple removed.
Oh my God!
I was like insinuating little things to kind of like make him remove himself.
Oh my
I was
goodness.
a mess. Oh my god. I used to do a wedding ring. I used to do all these things. Like, yeah, that's
That
terrible.
is crazy.
Yeah, I totally
The surgery was a success.
Yeah, I totally agree with what you said, though, young lady. I can't see your name on the screen because the names are blocked out for some reason.
That's okay.
But I definitely agree with what you say. You know, it is kind of a dicey subject. I have had women, you know, lie to me and be like, "Oh, here's my number," and then I will call and I wouldn't get a response or anything like that. I've had women say, "Oh, I'm taken," and then they'll be like, "Oh, I'm still single." I've had women lie to me and be like, "Oh, you know," I'll be like, "Hey, you know, I want to go off, you know, let's have a drink sometime." And they'll be like, "Oh, I'm not drinking because, you know, I got into an accident and everything." But then I see you at a party and you drink turned up and shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't like when women lie to me, but I understand why, because of what's going on, you know, in the day and age with, you know, women being SA'd and, you know, all these different things. So I respect it. You know, me personally, you know, my thing is, if you don't expect me to lie to you, you know, I will want that same energy. I want you to be willing to be upfront with me. You ain't got to tell me all your business. But if you're in a relationship, you can say I'm in a relationship and I will walk off. You know what I'm saying? I'll say, have a nice day. I'll keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? If you're taking or whatever. I just had an instance where I shot my shot with a young lady. She was like, "Yo, I'm a lesbian." I'll be like, "Okay, cool. I respect it." You know what I'm saying?
We have something in common. Look at that. We already started off on the right foot.
So wait, I got to hit it something like so. If you approach a guy, he just said, "No, I'm just ain't it. You don't do it for me."
Was that directed at me?
Anybody, anyone. I'm just curious. I'm not a woman. I don't know what happens.
My ego is hurt.
Oh no!
Yeah, of course your ego is hurt.
You definitely your feelings might be hurt a little bit, but at the same time, I'm definitely going to respect it because you were honest with me. You know what I'm saying? It'd be different if you kind of. Some people want to play along with her because they don't want to hurt your feelings and stuff. And then, you know, you're thinking that they're liking you, and then actually they never really did.
See, that's different.
Yeah.
Don't leave me on. You can make me fall.
Exactly. You know,
Yeah, that's my issue. Don't leave me on. Don't tell me that you'll think about it and then I never hear from you again. Don't tell me that you're gonna give me your number and then I get a number and then I call and it's some dude answering the phone.
Yeah.
All right, y'all.
But they gotta do that because they feel like it might not be safe. Like it's like when women talk to men, right? You'll see it when women, ladies, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments too, including Yonci. You know if a guy is like the type to be receptive to you being like, "Oh no, I'm married," because just how he approached you. A lot of the time, like you know,
they will try to negotiate.
Yeah, right. But so the
guy
guys
don't like short black or platform shoes. Oh, you don't like that? I can get my no, buddy. I just no.
So you guys can tell. So like you know, it's not how often do you guys have to give a guy the wrong number to get him out of your face? Like just in the past 10 years.
I'm a big feeler, so honestly, if you are lying to me, like I can tell, I can feel it, I know. So irregardless, I'm gonna know whether you're into me or not. It's just based on your body language, how you're all of it. I can just feel.
Because my thing is, I just don't like the idea that so many people are saying that like, well, it's not safe for women to turn men down, because it does happen, and it doesn't happen nearly at the rate that people think, but it's new and it's trending, so people post it. A lot of the times when women turn men down, it's because you're not their type. It's simple as that. It's not, and then now some women are extra, like we just saw the video with the dude that just was on the Pop Balloon show, and the girl, he rejected a girl and she got upset because he said that she had hair like a tarantula fur on her arms, or whatever he said about her arms being hairy, like yeah, so we see that though, right? But how often is that? It's not. That's an outlier. So if you're a guy and women are just not receptive to you, they should be as respectful as they expect you to be. Yeah. And oftentimes that doesn't happen, especially if you're like with a group of women, like you got 5 women with one cute one, and you want to talk to the cute one, you got to navigate through the other 4. That's I wouldn't
treacherous.
Treacherous.
Yeah.
Hey.
No pain.
Oh
no
my
gain.
goodness.
You
Y'all,
get it.
we're going to get to the submitted question, y'all. All right. Can somebody take a quick peek? Let me know likes wise, please.
We're at 31.
Ooh. More likes than views. Golf clap for the online community. Okay. All right. So submitted question. Let me go ahead and bring it on up to the stage. I'll see. I'm getting a little better with my graphics. Okay. Oh, and I just bragged too soon because apparently I forgot to add it. So give me just a second, you guys. I don't know why that wasn't showing.
It's showing. It's right there on the top.
Okay. I don't know why it wasn't showing before. Okay, so it says I have a question for your followers. Blah, 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 blah. I'm 32 and a virgin, and it's very important that I wait until marriage to be intimate with a man. In the past, some men have been turned off by this when they find out. See, Cameron told you it was dead on. Apparently you found it. Okay, let's see here. In the past, some men have been turned off by this when they found out. I don't want to necessarily lead with this info, but I know it can be a deal breaker for some guys. How soon should I bring this up to a guy I'm getting to know? So, you should say, hi, I'm Yonci, and I am a virgin, and I'm waiting till marriage.
Save everybody sometimes.
Maybe not initially. I will want to know like later down the road because, like I said, I'm not going to lead with that information right off the top. But if you're willing to, be upfront with that early on, I'm all for it. Tell me, what it is. You know what I'm saying? But if we say we go 3, 4, 5 dates in, and she's big on, waiting, of course, I want to spend time with her in church. You know what I'm saying? I want to be a part of that communion. If that relationship continues to develop, you know what I'm saying? For me, it's not a deal breaker because that last serious relationship I was in, she was in fact a virgin. And I told her, I'm like, yo, I totally respect you if you want to wait. And we did. And the relationship built in the group. And of course, she broke my heart, sadly, unfortunately. But I'm willing to wait. You know what I'm saying? That's not a deal breaker for me because guess what? That tells me that you trust yourself. That means you know yourself. That tells me that you want to take things slow and that you want to build the relationship, kind of like I do. You know what I'm saying? So I'll wholeheartedly respect it, and it could be, and it'll really be up to her in that regard because guess what, if the relationship develops, you know what I'm saying, I want her to feel safe and secure in me to eventually have that conversation. But if I don't master that, she's gonna probably cast me to the side after the second or third date. You know what I'm saying?
I will say, so this was actually applied to me. A very similar story to Lenora. My bad, Lenora. When someone's camera goes off, it kicks you off the stage. I'm so sorry. Feel free to bug me in the comments like, I'm back.
No, it's okay. Thank you.
I don't see it. I'm like, oh, shoot. So similar story. I was, raised very much that virginity was huge. That's something you especially give to your spouse. And so I told my now ex-husband, not the right away, but it was pretty early on that was the case. And he really honored that and was extremely respectful, like very much honored me and all that. When I was divorced, I broached the subject usually when the guy brought up sex. Typically, guys will kind of bring it up. They'll find a way to bring it up. Gentlemen will wait a little further than the first date, but some guys are very direct. And so I would share pretty early on while we're just getting to know each other, because I just think that's a weird thing to talk about when you don't even know each other's interests. So to me, it's like once the report, maybe like third or fourth conversation type of a thing, unless the guy brought it up sooner. If he brought it up, then all right, the door's open, let's talk about it. But yeah, I feel like that's not a need to know right out the gate, because if you're only a couple conversations in, it's not like they're heartbroken if they don't want the same thing as you, and now it's like, oh my god, you're playing my emotions. So,
and not only that, Yonci, but people don't deserve that type of access to you so early on, and everybody because everybody doesn't need that information. So since it's your responsibility to guard your own heart, you got to be mindful of what you tell people and who you're telling it to.
Yeah.
So to tell somebody right off the bat on the first date or something like that, I think it would honestly be too, unless like you said it came up. Why would it come up that soon? I don't know.
Right.
But even still, like, just be mindful, because sometimes you can tell people stuff like that, and then their motives start to change, and now you have somebody that's not being genuine with you or whatever, but they have now access to some information and maybe some access to you that they want to take for granted, and then the situation doesn't work out well for you. So there's mindfulness that has to be there, and even some wisdom.
Right.
Yeah. Well, y'all, we have gotten to the end. Thank you so much for joining us, Paul. Appreciate it.
Good night, everybody.
Good night. How are you guys enjoying the show? Do we have any newbies? Let me shout out any newbies. Is there anyone who is a very first time watching Yonci and Friends? We are on episode 7. Oh, welcome, Willie. I'm so glad you could watch. I hope you like it. We are at the point of the show where we do a featured single. And tonight we have a lovely young woman who is going to be joining us on the stage. What we do at this point, everybody else is welcome to stick around because there's always so much more. But I will be bringing one person to the stage, and then we are going to ask her questions. I start out with really easy questions, and then we start cranking it up a notch so that I can see if we can stump her. So you guys can submit the questions that you want me to ask her. And then if she taps out, and she can say, I plead the fifth. But we are bringing to the stage Somalia. Go ahead. Yes, we are, darling. Oh, Kayla dropped $10. Thank you so much.
That is so funny. Wow. I was so prepared.
I love it.
Oh my goodness.
We have the lovely Somalia, and I will say I have had a chance. Thank you so much, Kaylee. I have had a chance to speak with her quite a few times, and she is a doll. So let me see. Where's my? There we go. I even got your whole little stuff. There we go. She is a doll, and so I'm going to enjoy interviewing her and asking her some questions. Okay, so we'll start out easy. Are you comfortable giving your general location?
No problem. I am in Kansas City, Missouri.
Yes. Same as where my honey's from. Okay.
I
don't know why your stuff is going in and out. Is it my internet, y'all, or you guys are seeing that too?
Oh, am I intermittent?
Yeah, you're intermittent.
No. Let me see if I can.
And what's crazy is you were not intermittent this whole time.
Oh my God. I don't know what's going on.
I don't know. Okay, so we'll just try to push through. Okay. Are you comfortable sharing your age?
Yes, I am 44.
That's right, say it from your chest. Okay, 44 Club in the house. Hey. Okay, do you have any cheering?
I don't have any children, but I do have some nieces and nephews that I treat like my own. So
okay, for a non-Black community, thank you for translating that.
Auntie. I'm a real auntie.
Okay, nice. Are you willing to relocate for love?
I would absolutely do that. It would, of course, it has to be the right person. All those things. So, but I'm absolutely willing. And plus, I got some wiggle room, with how I live my life and the fact that I don't have no kids. So it's not a problem.
What if your boo stays in Alaska?
Alaska? Ooh.
Ooh.
I mean, if it was, listen, I would really have to be like, okay, it. You know what I mean? Yes. And then I'm like, is there any type of contingency plan here? Like, are we gonna move somewhere else? Somebody just showed up.
Y'all got me all flustered. I was like, lost my whole plan. And we got, how broke we got a Kansas City. Okay, lady on here. Yes. Oh, you made me blush a little bit. Okay. Y'all here straight from the airport. Okay. Oh, that's so nice. Okay. Let me get back into my hosting mode. Okay. Have you ever sent wings to a man?
You know, I've never sent wings to a man or a drink or anything like that. You know, I'm like, I'm not like a introverted extrovert type of person. So if I'm out like that, you know, I wouldn't. I might, you know, I might get some eye contact with you or something like that, but I've never done that. I've never done that.
Okay. Not here talking to Willie. I already got the questions. Oh, so by the way, so the veterans already know to drop your questions. So you guys drop your questions now so that we can rapid fire hit them with her. Okay, hit her with them. Okay. So next question: how long has it been since your last relationship?
Okay, so I don't look. I've been dating, you know, but relationship.
Like that was your man.
Like no, no. It's been a whole while. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just.
You have space for someone new. That's what
I have space, and I am definitely open and willing. You know?
Okay, I like that. Not Cam asking if you'll make 3 a.m. sandwiches for your significant other. Were you around for a sandwich game?
I would get up at 3 a.m. and make you a sandwich. It's all good. It's not a problem.
Were you around for Sandwich Gate?
Look, I wasn't around. I heard it afterwards, and I'm like, why?
It was a whole thing. Okay. They said y'all need sandwiches. Okay. Yeah. What has been your longest relationship?
Oh, it might have been 9 months. I think maybe.
Okay.
I don't know, child.
Okay. What are your top 3 major turnoffs? This guy does this, or you find this out about him, and you're like, no conversation, no bargaining, we're done.
Okay, so at the top of the list is dishonesty. I cannot take it. It is. There is no room for error there, and I'm not even talking about. I mean, anything. It doesn't matter. Like, even the dumb stuff that you don't have to lie about. I cannot do dishonesty.
It's the principle.
It's ridiculous, and it lets you know off the rip that first you're telling me a lot about your character and integrity, and then 2, you know, trust is a major thing. And if you lie about stuff that you don't have to lie about, that's definitely an issue. So that would definitely turn me off. The next thing would be a lack of confidence.
Yes.
Let me just tell y'all this, and I'm saying this for everything inside of me. Mm-hmm. Having confidence, like it trickles down to every part of your life. You know what I mean? And when you have the lack of confidence, it's very apparent. You know, so if you don't have that confidence, and I'm not saying like you're egotistical or anything like that, just really honestly, you're a confident person. You know who you are, you know whose you are, you know what you want, how you're gonna get there, what you're doing to get there, all those types of things. So confidence is major. You don't have confidence, I'm just kind of like
I like that one. I'm stealing that one.
Yeah, so dishonesty, confidence, and I think the third one probably be communication. I like to have good conversation. I want to talk to you. I want to get to know you, and I'm not just interested like the outwardly stuff. Like I really want to know like who are you?
Yeah.
Who are you? So having good conversation about anything really, it gives you insight to who this person are and who this person is rather, and then you get to kind of pick at their brain and at their heart. So having good conversation.
They can articulate them. You ever had someone who gives like 1-word answers? What did you think? It was good. You like,
but you know what? When people do stuff like that, I really wonder about their confidence. Mm-hmm. You know, like I had shared with you before, where I met the guy and he was just dry. Well, I'm gonna say like Cam said it. He was dry like a raisin. But the thing is that I felt like his dryness came from a lack of confidence and maybe even some stuff to do with maybe, you know, his past or something like that I just didn't know about.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, you know, you being one-worded and you just not, you know, engaging in conversation because maybe you feel like you don't have to. I don't know. But, you know, you being dry like that, it could be a confidence thing. So again, confidence is so important.
Confidence is so sexy.
Yeah,
Okay.
it really is.
So this one, I don't even know if I want to ask you. It's if you want to plead the fifth, you can, because there could be a lot of judgment on this question.
Look, I know my rights. Okay.
Yes, so you can plead. You can plead if you want to. But Willie wants to know wings or flats.
Okay. So I lean more toward the flats. Okay. But I'm gonna tell you right now, I love me some wings. So if you send me a whole wing, I'm gonna eat the whole wing. I'm not gonna say just I can only eat the flat.
Right.
But yeah, I lean more toward the flat because I feel like it's something about the ease of eating or how to eat it. Something.
I think the seasoning to meat ratio is better too.
Yes.
Because it's thinner, so you have more seasoning, less dense.
Yes, and it's just
I didn't know you were gonna answer that one right. Okay.
Yeah.
Whew. All right, next question. You did good. You're not even sweating. I'm impressed. Okay. Lynette has a good one. She said, "Is there anything about yourself that you would like to change?"
Oh, anything. You know what? I tend to be an overthinker. So because of that, I have to have like real conversation. I'm like really talking to myself like, okay, girl, you gotta hold on. Now he leaned in like
you're stealing all my answers. I'm like, oh, that was amazing.
But no, but
don't mess with I am overthinkers and not. I need to be anonymous.
Listen, and it's so easy to do. I think as women, it's easy for us to do because our brain is literally like on a fast track highway all the time, and your thoughts is doing this all day, every day.
It's like the CNN ticker at the bottom.
Yes. It's like you can't even catch it before the thought comes. And it's like, okay, I can't even live like this. I've had nights where I'm like, Jesus, please help me, because I just want to go to sleep. I just want to go to sleep.
We can't help it. We can't help
it. I know. But yeah, if I could be better with that overthinking, that would be awesome.
I love this. Okay, you got some good answers. What does your ideal man look like? Are we talking physically? I'm assuming he means physically, and we're not being theoretical. Like, what does he look like? Like,
okay.
What does he look like?
So typically, like ideally, if I could like put it on a card and send it up to Jesus and be like, okay, this is what I want. You know, he would be somebody tall, dark and thick like a milkshake. You know what I'm saying? But this is the thing. I have learned, like, okay, having a preference is cool, but I'm not stuck on that. So if I met somebody that he was light skinned, you know, and maybe he was a slim guy or something like that, there wouldn't be no problem. Especially if he's a solid guy, he a good man. I wouldn't have no problem with that at all. But like preference, everybody got something that they like, but it's definitely under no circumstance a deal breaker.
Okay, I love that.
Yeah.
Y'all, it is about that time. We only have 2 minutes left in the show, and there are so many more juicy questions. So you guys know the deal. If you want the show to continue, you know what you got to do. I'm going to go ahead and post up my info right here. If you want to extend it, you can either do a Cash App or you can do a Zelle. Okay, I got the info scrolling down there. Otherwise, we wrap in 2 minutes, and I'm going to get as many questions in as I can. Somebody asked, what is a flat? It is the part of the wing. You got 2 parts of the wing. You got the thicker part, and you got the part that has the 2 bones that go across. It is the thin part. Flats are best. You guys fight me on that. That is a hill I will die on. Okay.
Too much work.
You don't think the flat is the best?
Too much work. I want you to get right to it.
Even the way you're able to eat the flat is better. But
we are a divided home. but it works out because my daughter also likes the drum. And so it allows us to share. So when we order, because you order from certain places and you order all of one kind, they charge you more. So we split it. So that we could work out. We could work with that. Okay. I'm just gonna judge you a little bit. Okay. We got 1 more minute, y'all. What do you love? We got 10 minutes added to the clock. Thank you, Mr. Murray. You know I got to do a shout out on here. Am I allowed to put your name on your Cash App? We'll say Mr. Murray for right now. I don't want to put anyone's government out there. He just added 10 minutes. Added 10 minutes to the clock so we can get through your interview.
All right, Mr. Murray.
Thank you, Mr. Murray. Let's oh goodness, y'all put these questions up here. I gotta scroll. Okay. Thank you so much. Hang on. Oh, I didn't even see. Mr. Gomez also put, all right, so we got $15, so we got another 15 minutes on the clock. All right. Thank you, Mr. Gomez. All right, that's a 15. You're my math person. What are we at? 25? Okay. All right. Oh, it looks like another just came in. Really, Willie? Really? We can see him backstage, and you see his shoulders like this. Willie, goodness gracious. Y'all, Willie just added. Hold on, you gotta do my math for me, baby. Willie just added 50 minutes to the clock. Thank you, Willie, for your $50 donation. My goodness, what are we at? 50 and 25? So that's 7.
The whole hour.
1 hour and 15?
Hour and 15.
All right, we're 1 hour and 15 minutes in. I'm gonna put you to work, Willie. I'm gonna make you hostess. Okay? My man just came back from a trip. We're gonna have me tied up for 6 hours. Not today, Satan. Okay. All right. Anyone else want to send some love? I tease, but I do appreciate y'all. I do this full time, so I do appreciate that. Okay, give us money to buy some chicken wings. Okay, let's see. Let me scroll. Here we go. I just saw Willie's comment. All right, so let's go back to your question. You say you better check that, Zale. Goodness gracious, thank you. Okay, so let me scroll back to where I was. I didn't ask you yet. What do you love about yourself? I like that question. Is it cow?
Oh, that is a good question. I like that. I like the fact that for the most part, I really don't care about what people think about me. I'm not concerned about their opinions. I know who I am. I know whose I am, and that's good for me, so I'm glad that I really don't care what people think about me.
Okay. I like that. Sorry, I'm trying to toggle back and forth through these questions. And that's a great thing to have. It's not about not caring and being rude, but I'm not going to let someone else's opinions control me.
Yeah. It's not a rudeness thing, just mean or dismissive or anything like that. It's just, your opinion about me or what I do, how I live my life, just don't carry no weight over here.
Is there anything about yourself that you would like to change, Lynette says?
Anything I want to change? I honestly, what I'm working toward now is being more disciplined and consistent. If anybody say, what do you want to be when you grow up? Disciplined and consistent. Because that's the winner right there. So that's definitely something I'm working toward.
Okay. Okay. Okay, hold on. Make sure I didn't miss anything. Let's see. And I guess actually, technically, Kaylee, she got hers in there early for her 10. So technically, were we an hour and 25? I think we were at 1:15, an hour and 15 before. Okay. Oh, Lynette says, why did your last relationship end?
Okay, so like I said, it was a while ago, but this person, especially at that time, I don't think that they just wanted to do that for real. They kind of still wanted to be out there doing whatever they wanted to do. So, go and do what you want to do. But, when people like that, they know they got a good one, they can find their way back. And he tried to find his way back, but I was like,
circle backs. Yeah.
Slowly, But, hey, I think that's one thing that a lot of people can regret. It's like realizing that you had a good one and then you messed up and way. But you know, you live and you learn or whatever. But yeah.
That's one of the questions that's going to be, it was posted this week. Did you let the one go? So I'm share those answers with you guys.
Yeah.
Not Willie asking, will you admit that Kansas City barbecue is inferior to Dallas barbecue?
I would never in my life admit that.
I'll give them brisket. That's all I'll give them.
Just a brisket. Okay, I mean they can have a brisket.
Yeah, I'll give them brisket. That's it. Not everything else.
They can have a brisket, but they can't have barbecue.
They can't. No way.
They can't. Not against. Sorry, Willie.
Oh, did you have brisket there?
I had brisket in Canada.
Was it okay? He just tried brisket in Canada for the first time. How was it? Careful, we don't have any Canadian sponsors.
So, of course, I'm from Kansas City, but I've had Dallas. I went to Canada, and I tried the brisket.
Oh, it got a nod.
What? They did anything on it?
You did sneaking in your bag?
Wow.
When I bit into it, I didn't have any expectations.
I would have no shade Canada, but I would have
expectations. I was like, this Canada, you know, it ain't, you know, they don't know nothing about barbecue, but I'm telling you. Yeah.
Wow. That's surprising.
That is very surprising.
I wouldn't have expected that either going into Canada because
I would think light seasoning for Canada. That's what like my brain would say. Yeah.
Exactly. Like y'all not really about to get in here and do this and take your time.
They did their thing.
Wow. Shout out to Canada.
Yeah, Canada it was probably somebody that came through there by way of Kansas City.
That's probably
what happened.
That makes sense.
They set up shop.
That makes sense. And they knew they could clean up. Okay, that makes sense. That's sense.
Because they had to give Canada something because Canada needs a little seasoning. So they had to get in there and get it right.
Canada City. Okay, so Lynette, she's got the good questions. She said, how would you rate yourself? I'm assuming on a scale of 1 to 10. How would you rate yourself?
Okay, so on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm gonna give myself an 8. And it's not about looks or nothing like that, okay? I'm gonna give myself an 8 just for some fact that I know that the work that I've done on myself. And I know that in relationships, period, as far as like, you know, my family, my friends and stuff like that, I know the value that I bring. And then two, just out of like randomly, things that people share with me about me that I would have never expected, you know, because, you know, just me personally, I just do what I do and I keep it moving. I'm not looking for nothing or whatever. It's just, I'm gonna be myself. I'm gonna do what I do. And that's it. But when people share certain things with you about you, and you're totally completely not expecting it, and what they share, like it literally makes your heart smile, and even for real, makes you emotional because you never thought that they were thinking that they thought that about you or anything. So it kind of sheds, even if you were in a situation, because sometimes we downplay ourselves. I know I've done it before, and still kind of struggle with it, where like I'm really not tripping off of it, but when people share certain things with you about, you know, how they view you, what they think about you, and how they value you in their lives, like it paints a completely different picture. And you start saying like, wow, I didn't know. You know, so because of that, because of what other people have shared with me and stuff, and just the integrity in which I live by, you know, I would give myself an 8 in that. Yeah.
I appreciate that. Now, I know you weren't here last week, so you probably won't understand why I want to bust out laughing right now. But Kim says, how do you accommodate vulnerability in a guy? Can he look back to you for strength when he's in court? So if Lynette is here, it was Lynette and it was Amanda on there. Y'all, we traumatized from Cam and his situations. His what do you call them? Cam situations. Oh my goodness. Don't even look into the vortex, girl. Don't even look into the vortex. We just gonna scroll to the next question. Oh my God.
Why in court though?
It was a whole rabbit's hole on this other episode where he was talking about if a man is in court, he trying to fight back against his baby mama and he trying to get all his strength together. Can he cry and look back? Girl, it was a mess. A mess. I'll have to show you the episode.
Only Cam.
No, it really only Cam. Okay. Okay, so I'm scrolling through, I'm catching up. He said men built like milkshakes. I heard they bring all the girls to the yard because you said you won't pick like a milkshake. That's funny.
All mine is thick.
Corn-fed. Okay. Let's see. Time. Okay, wait. Oh, okay. Here we go. Here's a juicy one. Remember, you can always tap out. Willie says, if we asked your ex, what would he say you needed to change? So probably your most significant relationship. You can ask that one.
Oh, what I need to change?
Not Kaylee adding another 5 on the clock. What are we at? An hour 30 now?
My goodness.
It's up there.
Oh,
yeah. What he would say I need to change. You know what? I'm gonna be real with you. I don't know what he would say. I don't. I honestly don't. Like, I mean, I can speak for myself and just, it's then compared to now, just maturity wise, it's good to grow up. Yeah. It's good to live and learn, so I'm grateful for maturity and, a little bit of wisdom, I'll say, but, I don't know exactly what he would say.
Okay.
Yeah.
I am sorry. You're giving these like good, thoughtful answers, and I'm catching these comments, and they're making me laugh. I'm sorry.
No, you good.
Cam said, "Does Lynette have the platinum preferred Patreon?" Because I got questions.
She probably do, and we don't know it.
That's so funny. Okay. Jacob said, "Why are we so disrespecting Canada?" I mean, it wasn't intentional. It was just not an expectation. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't really expect people from Florida to know how to ski. I just wouldn't expect Canadians to know how to barbecue, Yeah. He said Canada is a big place. It is. Okay, he's throwing the flag. That's so funny. Jacob, you gotta be a resident flag thrower.
Right, because he had some flags on the plate tonight.
Yes, good question. Jacob, are you from Canada? Do you have any Canadian ties? Or are we just looking out for... You gotta add it. We gotta wait for his chat because he's in the back. Okay. All right. Oh, dang. Okay. So they said we need to get her to tap out. All right. So we're turning up the heat. I'm gonna go to Willie's question that I pretended like I didn't see because I like you. But we're gonna ask. He said, "When was the last time you had Mr. Nasty Time?" That is his favorite question.
My boy. My boy Willie.
Why is it Mr. Nasty Time?
That's a PG way. That's a PG way to put it.
Okay, well, I appreciate your question, Mr. Beebe, but I am gonna tap out.
Thank you so much. You did so great. We're going to bring everybody back to the stage. Give her a golf clap, y'all. She did great. She did great. Oh, my goodness. All right. So here is what I'm going to do. This is unprecedented, but it's going to happen because I can. I am going to go ahead and pass the baton, as scared as I am. I am going to pass the baton to Mr. Face Hider himself. And y'all, hope he's on his best behavior while we go get something to eat. Because I'm about to be off the clock, y'all. We just celebrated Juneteenth and I'm free. And I am free from this YouTube show. But y'all want to keep doing it? Willie, are you up to the challenge?
I am.
Lord. I'm going to lose my channel. Okay.
I promise you won't get demonetized. I promise I won't get
demonetized my channel. Lynette, you need to come on this panel, Lynette.
Yes, Lynette, please come here.
Yes, Lynette. Come on now.
What y'all call Lynette for? Like she's super safe with Willie or something? Like, what are y'all talking about?
Listen, she got the platinum preferred Patreon. Apparently, she can save the day. I don't know.
And I just might pop in every now and then, so you better make sure.
Hey,
okay.
I know you better not come back too fast.
I know, I'm scared.
Hey.
Oh, yes, I have the control panel now. I don't know what to do with myself.
Hey.
Oh, my God.
Okay.
Go ahead, Cam. What you got for me?
Okay, so I really wanted to, man, I wish Somalia was still here because I actually had a real question for her. I had a real question, but I'll ask in general. Huh?
Oh, damn, she left? I thought she was still here.
Is she still here? I don't see her on the...
There she is.
Oh, there she is.
Still here.
Well, okay, I'm sorry. I got a phone call.
Cam has a question for you.
Okay.
You can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, gotcha. No, my stuff was going slow. Okay, so actually it's two. I'm gonna ask you the vulnerability question first. So, real question: have you give us an example of when you've accommodated for your significant others? Let's say vulnerability, because that's the whole point of having a woman, right? It's supposed to be not only for her to inspire you and help your legacy, but like, let's say if there's times that he's not strong and everything, how have you been accommodating to vulnerability?
I think being a good listener is huge. You know what I mean? Being a good listener and not being judgmental. So I think in that aspect, if you can be those two things to anybody, even if it's not your significant other, it's important, because you never want anybody to feel like they regretted telling you something. You don't want them to feel stupid, for telling you anything at all. So just being a good listening ear and allowing them to say whatever they need to say, feel however they need to feel in that moment, again, without having judgment. So that's how I accommodate.
So with that, follow up to that is, are there any things that you can't be told by your significant other, something that would affect your confidence in him, that you don't want to hear, you don't want to know about him, or you don't want him to bring to you in your relationship? There's something.
No, I'm trying to think like what would it be, but then too, I'm also thinking about if there is something, like how would that impact our relationship and his trust for me? You know what I'm saying? So I just wouldn't want anybody to feel like there's, oh man, I can't tell her that, and not only that, but I can't tell her that because she said, X, Y, and Z. So I just wouldn't want to be that person, or to put them or make them feel like they couldn't tell me anything. So I honestly, like, there's really not a whole lot that you could unless it's gonna be something, because I need to know, like, if it's gonna negatively impact our relationship or something like that, then that's something that's a need to know thing. But I don't really think there's anything that I would hope that there's anything that they just couldn't tell me.
Okay, what about if he's scared? He's scared of something silly, like he's scared of something really silly,
like he's scared of clowns or something.
Not even clowns. Let's say it's obscure. Like he can't go to, like, he passed by Build-A-Bear, and you always notice that he gets kind of anxious when he's in the mall or something like that.
Damn. Just damn.
Oh my God. Well, I mean, if he's scared,
you wouldn't be able to recognize it just then. But what about if he says, let's say he's playing truth or dare, he's talking like 2 truths and a lie or something like that. Let's say he gets in a situation and it starts adding up to you in your head. You're like, dang, he really is scared. And then he tells you the story of why he's scared of these bears. Like, how are you going to handle that?
I'm not going to trip. Like, if you're scared, then you're just scared, because I can't do nothing about it. So I really ain't going to be like, oh my God, my man ain't a man because he's scared of bears. No, like.
That sounds crazy. I just hope you know.
It does. Like, that's what I'm like, dang, Kim, like, really? Out of all the things, but no, I ain't for real. I ain't about to trip off of that. There's definitely bigger fish to fry. So you scared of bears, baby? I'm sorry. Yeah, you scared of them, and we gonna figure it out.
But for is there anything? Is there any actual thing that you would say that, like, you wouldn't want to know as a woman that would kind of shake your confidence in him as being the leader of your household? There's nothing that you would say that I would rather not know that at the time, or I'd rather not know that right now?
Anything that would shake my confidence in him. Yeah. Dang, I don't know. Maybe like if he can't fight or something.
You don't have hands.
Yeah, he ain't got hands. Maybe that. I don't know. I can't think of anything right now. It's like, oh my God, I just wouldn't want to know that.
Are y'all gonna fight at home? Like,
no, I'm saying, like, just period. Something could pop out, but you never know. Like,
he gets knocked out. He gets knocked out at like the football game for one of your nephews, and then you just couldn't. It'd be hard for you guys. You guys have to go to therapy.
Well, I mean, not therapy or nothing like that, but I'll be a little like, damn, why'd it have to be him?
So, in non-violent dating issues, what's been one of the hardest things you've dealt with, or in dating? Like, where are you struggling to?
I'm gonna be just completely transparent. Right now, I think the issue just is me, because I'm at that frustration part. where it's like you're meeting people and stuff, and it's just like, I'm over this. I really want to go ahead, just take a pause and just do whatever I do and just put dating on the back burner at this point, because it's just, I don't know. Out of all the people I've met probably within the last maybe 3 months or something like that, it's probably one person that I would have actually given the time of day.
So what you do to him?
I didn't do nothing. Well, I don't think I did nothing to him or whatever. It just, maybe I just wasn't for him. I don't know. I have no idea. Because y'all don't share stuff like that. Not that y'all obligated to or anything of that nature, but most of the time, if somebody that seemingly they might be physically attracted to you or whatever, and like they might see you, like the way you look, all that type of stuff, then y'all have conversation or whatever, and then all of a sudden you don't hear from the person no more. So and nobody says like, well, I stopped communicating with you because you don't know. So it's left to your imagination as to what may have happened and stuff. But hey, it is what it is.
So I had another question, Beeman, unless you had a particular direction you were guiding us in.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. So earlier, I was going to ask the young brother, remind me your name, sir, up top on the panel.
Me, Jacob.
Jacob, okay, Jacob. I was like, I think it's Jacob, but I didn't want to mess it up. Okay, so, and then also this is, so when we had the wing conversation, I was trying to understand, because I wanted you to talk about that. Like, if a woman sends you wings, but you look back at her and she looked like Quasimodo, like, how are you going to handle that situation?
No, straight up. I remember what Willie said. I'll kick it with anybody. It was a nice gesture. I'm gonna go kick it with you. I'm gonna talk to you, spend some time with you. There's never any reason to mistreat anybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you don't have to, regardless of how you may be attracted to them or not. There's never any reason to disrespect anybody. So yeah, I'll kick it with her. I guess like Willie said, I'd probably pay for the food just so she don't feel like she came out of pocket or wasted her time or money. But if I'm not feeling her, I ain't finna lead her on though.
Okay, so kind of like just like, oh, hey, how you doing? Boom, 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 boom. But if she hits you with some like innuendos, you probably be like, oh, it's not like that, shorty. I got the bill. You have a good one. God bless.
Yep, flag on the play. Yep, no, I was good. No thanks. Nah, I was like, I think it's best we just be friends. I'll find some way to put her down. I mean, to let her know how I feel honestly. I don't say put her down, but let her know how I feel honestly. Because again, nobody wants to be tolerated. No one wants to be misled. Like, that's just whack as hell, especially at this big age. Like, we ought to be able to say how we feel. One of the beautiful things about getting older is you can say what's on your mind and be honest. I mean, you don't have to be a jerk about it, but you can be straight up with people. So, you just gotta have time for the games. I would be honest, but I would never disrespect anybody.
We have some good people in here. I respect that. That's cool.
Solid, very solid people on the panel.
Because I can tell you how I probably would do it. It'd probably be different.
How would it be different? You gotta tell us.
So the whole conversation thing, I guess as I'm getting older, is if I felt like just having a conversation, that's cool, but I'm always trying to I don't want to create the opportunity for you to think everything's cool. So if someone had sent me that, I would have been like, appreciate it, love, but no, I'm not interested. And it would have been that, but we wouldn't even have had a conversation. It probably just would have been like, oh, I'm straight, salutes to you, pay the bill, and then keep it moving. I probably wouldn't even have had a conversation. It probably would have been just very whatever like that. Because
why I'm open to having the conversation.
Yeah.
And knowing that, I'm going over there seeing that she's not my type physically, is just because I've become aware of how advantageous it is for me in the businesses that I'm in to never turn down an opportunity to meet someone. Regardless of whatever. But I've met people in grocery stores, I've met people on planes, I've met people in the bathroom, after they wash their hands, and had conversations with them that led to business deals or lots of other financial or networking gain. So in that same light, you never know what that lady can do. She might be a project manager somewhere. She might work at a bank. It's like people are useful. even if they're not useful for what you intend for them for. You know, people tend to have a multitude of things they're good with. You know what I'm saying? So I would never turn down the opportunity to get to know someone or connect with someone in that way. But you know, just because even if it's not a romantic way, but if it's someone that I want to talk to romantically, we can never do business. And the reason why is because I don't want to cross. If I liked you before we were in business, I'm probably gonna like you more after we get a check together. I'm probably gonna like you more after, you know, whatever our business venture has been successful. You know, they say, like, you know, a lot of marriages take place in the workplace. You know, they stem from the work. You know, they last longer, whatever. So I have a difference there. But as far as someone sending me wings, you know, we gonna have a conversation. Shit, lunch ain't gonna take about an hour. I was eating anyway, and I might talk about I'm sitting by myself scrolling on my phone. I'll go talk to her, eat the wings she sent me, you know, and maybe make a friend. And again, she might can cook or something, or, you know, it could be something else. You know, or even better, I have friends that are single. So I would try to put them on and be like, hey, I met this lady at the spot, you know, she's more your speed than mine. You know, let me see if I can get you guys to have an event or something and invite you guys both. So I would hope that people would be a little more receptive to just having conversation with people, even if it doesn't go beyond the conversation. But, you know, if it's time eating, why not?
Yep. All right, Kaylee, how do you shoot the shot?
How do I shoot a shot? I really don't. I'm very shy, honestly. I let him kind of come out of his shell first, and then based off of that, you know, I can feel his energy and just like, you know, is it something maybe, you know, I don't know. I'm very shy.
So you're not gonna say you somewhere, you see a guy you're interested, you just nothing. He just gonna leave. You're not gonna say a word. You're not gonna do anything. You're not gonna brush up against him.
I mean, I would be the nonverbal. I would be the girl to walk, you know, past your table just to see, you know, the nonverbals first. I don't know.
So I have
maybe why I'm single.
Listen, it's a whole thing though, because I've been taught it before. It's like you don't do nothing, you don't get nobody eye contact or nothing like that when you out. And I was like, dang, I guess I do need to work on that.
That nonverbal comes across as indifference a lot of time too, though, to men.
I'm learning that. Because I really am.
Me, Cam, and Jacob are at a table, and you walk past. The odds of, and say we're all attracted to you, the odds of one of us three stopping you as you're walking past is slim to none, because one, we don't want to be perceived as creeps. You know, people are like, don't touch me. That whole thing is going on now. You might be getting ready to go boo-boo or something. We don't want to stop you in your route, or you could get somebody. So we, you know, like the odds of it, to expect men to stop you when, you know, you just walk past might not be a super successful, and, you know, you might miss your husband that way, or, you know, at least a 2 or 3 year boyfriend.
Yeah, you're right.
So is eye contact a good thing to do?
Yes.
No?
Yes.
Eye contact and a lip bite.
Yeah.
It's the nonverbals for me. Okay. I'm good there. I mean, it's just I'm not I'm not the girl to buy you the wings. I'm not the girl to put myself out there like that.
Yeah, me too.
I sit back, I watch, I observe, and I move from there.
So you give Yonci $5, but you won't buy me any wings. I see how this goes.
And I was gonna pay for it if I didn't like you.
What?
Yeah, at least you know that, like, if the guy doesn't like you, for the most part, you know, we're gonna
pay.
Because isn't that what women do when they go on dates with dudes? They offer to pay when they don't like them.
Well,
I mean, not necessarily. I mean, I offer because I'm not just gonna flat out expect you to pay for my meal. Like, if we're down at a date or whatever, you know, I will offer. And, you know, I've had a guy tell me, like, ooh, that sucks. Like, is that like a diss or something? And I'm like, no, it's not. I will. And it's not like I'm not trying to be masculine or anything like that. It's just I'm trying to be, you know, take care of me first. And, you know, if you offer, great, cool, you know.
Ladies,
I'm different. Like, if I'm going out on a date with you, it's because I do like you. Like I'm not gonna go on a date with somebody that I don't like. That's a total and complete waste of time for each person involved. So if I like you and you ask me out on a date, I'm definitely thinking should be very much prepared to pay for the date. I wouldn't offer because my understanding and my knowing from me actually going out on a date with you is that I don't have to in this situation. And not only that, but the type of guy that I like, the type of guy that I need in my life, he's not moving like that. So I understand where you're coming from though, because it's like you want to kind of protect yourself in a way, especially if you go out on a date with somebody who has some expectations that you don't, just because they took you out on a date. So I understand from that perspective, but I think that's why it's important for us to vet properly.
Okay,
Yes,
so let's
that part. Yep.
Let's back up. Let's back up for a second, because see Ms. Carson, I see her comment here. We didn't got to the date. Like we trying to get to the date. See, we ain't even got there yet. She didn't jump ahead talk about who paying. We trying to get to the date. Okay, let's back up. Let's back up for a second. So say something. Oh, like I didn't say come lay across the table and spread your legs. Say something. Walk by. Say hey, how are you? You can walk by a table and just smile and wave and look.
Okay.
Do something. Don't leave it to chance. I'm not saying.
Okay, what's that something? Like
you could walk by
something that would be like, oh.
You could walk by a table, see somebody, and just say hi and keep while you're walking by. Do something.
Now I want to ask y'all this, fellas. So I see that y'all are you're very receptive to that something. Okay.
Yeah.
Why is that something so important? Because there was a time in my life where I was just like, you know what? If a guy's really interested, he'll approach you. But now I know better. Okay.
Yeah, like,
so why is that something so important for the woman to kind of do or insinuate? Do you have to have that green light to approach her? Is it so important for that she lets you know that she's interested before you make a move?
Because guys are also super visual, so why do they need a green light if they like what they see? Just
no. Okay. Ooh, wait. Okay, listen. We getting somewhere. Okay, so this is how. Look at it like this. The reason why you guys know there's certain commercials that you guys didn't try to memorize, but you know them, right?
True.
What?
Okay, there's commercials that you guys know about, like 800-8553, so whatever the commercial is, you know it because basically it was exposure. I now know about that because now I have a visual cue. If you're sitting back in the cut and I don't know that you're being advertised as anything, that's why he said walking by the table, eye contact, saying hey, doing something cute or funny. We have so much more visual information coming towards us all the time that for us to just be there, like, if I'm in a situation like or in a small classroom, yeah, you probably don't have to do much of anything, but still there might be 20 other girls in the classroom. So you need to kind of put yourself out there that, hey, I'm kind of interested in you, or hey, I'm a cool figure. It's marketing. I'm available. It's marketing. So being funny, like I said, making yourself nice and friendly, having some exposures. I had a young lady, there were little things that funny young ladies would do, and they would it would be funny. And so now you put me on your radar, like, oh, she's cool and she's funny. So now she's somebody I might look towards, because if I'm going to sit next to 6 girls and I think all of them are cute, this one who's funny, I might go sit by her because she made herself available and funny. So it's all about marketing, is make sure that you're actually out there, because if you don't say anything and you're just walking past and making yourself unavailable, it's not a thing. So eye contact's a great thing, because that's one of the greatest. You don't know how many times I've connected with a woman and just eye contact, and it's like, oh, I captured her attention just because she saw me, I saw her, and we knew that there's something, there that we can work from, So just having those little things where you put yourself out there, where you do stuff, will help out.
I mean, you're gonna walk by a table, you're gonna send a whole plate of wings over, but you just can't say hi. Like, what's different is we're older. Like, let's just keep it real. Like, once you get past, I'm making up age, like 35, the game changes. Roles switch a little bit. Things are different. When I lived in Atlanta in my 20s, Man, anything that walked by, I was shooting my shot. I was working hard. I was a parking lot pimp. I went crazy. I mean, I just anything while I was speaking. I was out there. As you get older, man, you slow down a bit. You start picking your shots a little bit differently. If I'm going out to eat, I'm going out to eat because I'm hungry. Not I'm trying to meet anybody. I might want some wings. I'm gonna go have some wings and a beer, watch the game. You taking the time. I saw somebody comment says, like, why do men, whatever the comment was about approaching, there's nothing wrong with taking a little bit of initiative or just making sure you're just doing a temperature check. I think that's the right term I've heard somebody say recently. Just doing a temperature check. Just walking by saying hi, a small wave. If he's interested, I mean, at least one, he saw you because he may not have seen you because he focused on his wings and his bill or whatever he's having. But at least you let him know that you're there and you're available to be approached by a smile and a wave. But say something. It is not, somebody said it's masculine to approach a man. There's a comment. You're not approaching. You're just saying
being
hi.
available.
I don't understand why speaking and being social is approaching a man. Like those are two completely different things.
I have a question. Okay, so along that lines of women approaching a man. So if a woman approaches a man, like depending on obviously how she does it, but also does it scream or initiate that she wants him in a different kind of way, other than like a genuine relationship? If she does it,
no, doesn't change a thing. Doesn't change a thing. Again, we didn't say come over and lay across the table, spread your legs.
Or like start gaming me up. Yeah, don't like if you come to me, let's say if you're a girl comes to me and she's like rubbing her hands like, hey, what's up, Playboy? I was just thinking that. Like you're not doing that. You're just making yourself present. Like, hey, oh, how are you doing? Oh, I like that suit, or something. Just being friendly will just get you. What is it? Miss Carson, she says, I like the quote by Miss Whitfield, and it says, "Women don't pursue, they present." That's like a perfect way.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Exactly. And I've also heard it. Actually, women and men say that women should still be kind of dropping their handkerchief, if you will. You know what I mean?
It's kind of yeah.
Exactly. So it's not a masculine. You're saying that it's not a masculine thing to, like Willie said, give that eye contact and bite your lip, or as Jacob said, you walk by, say hi or something like that, or just rub up against his shoulder or something just to let him know, like, hey, I see you, but I'm definitely hoping you see me.
Jacob, you remember the guys in the club, like where, like I said, I know I used to joke about it because I don't be in the club, but they'd be like, "Oh, excuse me, little mama," and then they'll like move you to the side. So not quite to that extent. Okay, so what I'm referencing, if you don't get it, is that basically in the clubs would be crowded, and what they would do is they would always like find the small, like kind of the small of your waist, and they would kind of brush past you, which is terrible. But at the same time, like just having that little like, oh, excuse me, or excuse me, young lady, just doing something to kind of, and then look like, oh, you look nice. I like that red dress, or I like that suit. Just something to present yourself so that we know that you're there.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah. Oh, excuse me, little papa. That's what I'm
These comments always kill me, as if no one said that men can't do the same thing women do. We've already explained what it is that we do. We're talking about why women don't. So that men can do it too that's a disingenuous comment to even make given this conversation. No one has implied, said, hinted at, or led anyone to believe that men don't approach women. We've all three of us, every man on this panel, even Paul, has said we approach women. So please leave that.
Sure.
That's not helpful.
For sure. I don't understand. We'll have a conversation. We'll ask a question, and you get this whole preamble about a bunch of stuff that don't even matter. Like if you start talking about aliens and the 1% of something that happens, like we're having that's the one thing I hate sometimes about panels. Like sometimes we're so smart, we just wasting each other's time. In theory, what could happen? Like, man, wait a minute. We talking right now. Can we just have a conversation?
It's a red herring. This is one of the debate tactics people do when they try to involve themselves in conversations that they haven't either been to the entire thing, or they're just trying to take the fact or take the responsibility off whatever party if anyone. So no one is saying that men don't approach women. We all do that. We're talking. The question that stemmed from was, if a woman sends a man's wings, how do men respond? And then the conversation from there evolved into us asking the women on the panel how they shoot shots, and then their feedback. Like, let's not try to police what men are giving you our experiences. Save the police and for a police-worthy panel. It's not this one.
For sure.
So actually transitioning from that would be interesting to ask the women and of course men put in here, because like, mind you, I'm probably the more new to the game in certain aspects. So trying to understand this about young ladies. So I know that all the women who are decent women, you guys have ran across a couple of really cool guys, maybe a guy friend, right? What prohibited you from engaging with that individual romantically if you didn't? Like what prohibited that? Have you ever had that male friend who never really tried to cross a line or anything else like that? Or maybe it happened once. What prohibited you, knowing that he's a decent man, he would be a good provider, he's nice, he's kind, you have emotional interactions with him. What would prohibit you? What would support the thought in your mind that would stop you from engaging with him romantically? Both of the women on the panel.
It's because he really is my friend. You know what I mean? Like, there isn't anything as far as like, there hasn't been any type of conversation as far as, anybody crossing the line, no suggestions or anything like that. But I know that I was waiting for the flag on the play. I was waiting for the flag on the play. And I know the crazy part is that look, Willie put his hat on. Oh my God. I know for women it can be different where, I know as women we can have like platonic friends, like he really is my friend or whatever. Not only that, person I'm speaking about, he's married now. He's married and they're happy, they're doing their thing. But in this situation, like it never crossed the line, like not even a little bit.
Okay, so to address,
go ahead, Cam.
Okay, real quick. No, because I'm gonna get this. I'm getting there. Okay, so with that being said, I asked the question: what prohibited you? Because you knew that man liked you. One of those guys. You don't think the guy liked you?
No, not like that. Well, I'll say this: that conversation never happened. So I never thought like, I know he kind of like me, but we friends, and it ain't gonna be. It was never nothing like that. We always was cool. Like that was the homie. For real. And so nothing ever.
Do you think, okay, so question real quick. Do you think that guy, let's say that individual, like say he's cool and all those other things, you talk to him, all that kind of stuff. Do you think that he actually liked you and he just didn't pursue because he was scared? Or do you think he just didn't like you like that?
Nah, I would say he just didn't like me like that because it's just like nothing like that ever happened. Now, mind you, out of all the guy friends,
yeah,
he's the one. Just one.
Oh, okay. I got you. Okay.
Now, others, different story. But him, he's like that one person that was truly the homie. We're still friends to this day.
Okay, I got you. Okay.
Yeah, so I ain't saying it never happened before. Nothing like as far as men in general. Like other guy got friends. Oh, honey, please. It's a phone call away and it's over. You know what I mean?
Okay,
so,
but you're aware. You're aware that those guys, the people, you're pretty much aware of the ones that like really are about that life. Like they like now they like them.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
You're definitely aware of that. And just men being men or whatever, and come up in conversation or something that they say or do or something like that. Like I had went. A friend came in town, went out with them or whatever, and so another mutual friend that we went to school with came, and so we just sitting there chilling or whatever, and just out of the blue, he was like, "Somalia, we're gonna go to Vegas and we're gonna get married." Boy, get out of here! What are you talking about? But just like random stuff like that. Even if I was like, you know what, I kind of been liking you too. It could happen. You know what I'm saying? So there's definitely possibilities there. But like out of all the guy friends that I've had, there's just
okay.
Like
yeah.
not so it's possible.
Okay.
Jacob, what you think, champ? Jacob, what you think, champ?
He didn't gave me 2 flags on the play.
I want to hear from Kaylee. I just want to hear from Kaylee.
Yeah, me too.
I'm practicing my listening skills right now. I'm gonna mute myself and just listen.
So, quite honestly, I've never had a guy like just be my friend and not be somewhat interested. Quite honestly. But I guess to answer your question, what like I guess would turn me off to that would just be, you know, getting to know him more as like a person, and like maybe our views don't line up, and that's really a lot of it. For me is that we just don't 100% like get along to where I could, you know, foresee you as my other half and get behind you and all, you know, support all the things. But I'm definitely like, I'm there, you know, could be your friend. I can work with you, you know, you're cool. But as far as deeper and more intimate, it would be a no for me. Something would turn me off or something.
So Jacob, I'm interested in what you were gonna say.
I can't.
His lips.
I can't be friends with a like this. It's the only way I can be friends with a woman. Sex got to be off the table. It's the only way. Like that, I cannot be interested in him in that way. Like for us to be like friends. Like I'll see you out. Like we may kick it, we may talk, but if we're talking about being like friends, sex got to be off the table. If it's anywhere near the table, we can't be friends. I'm gonna try something. I'm gonna shoot my shot. I'm gonna make a move. I'm gonna wait on the right. Like, look,
That's expected.
But yeah, nah, nope. Talking every day, and I'm interested. Nah, something gonna happen at some point. I'm a man. I'm gonna try something. Like I don't know when, but I'm gonna try something. Look. I'm gonna try. Look, so I have a lot of. I don't like. Yeah, I'm gonna try. Coming over, hanging out. Like nah, I'm gonna try something. Yeah,
trying to get massages. You know, it's crazy.
I'm gonna try something.
Oh, speaking of massages, I'm a massage therapist. Let's not go there.
Wait. That's a skill. That's a marketable skill.
Yes, sir, it is. Believe me.
Not when you're not one though. But you're like, yo, can I give a, you need a massage? Your back's kind of tense. You got a long week.
1 year. 1 year they teach us in school that if you're gonna date somebody or anything like that, you're not allowed to give them a massage just because of things like transference. You know, that's real. And I've actually had clients have that, and it's very scary.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wait a minute. Say more.
Yeah, please.
Okay, well, do we understand what transference is, first of all?
I think I know. I'm interested in the story.
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay, like transference, like you're really feeling the connection. Like I told you, I'm a massage therapist, and I talk about I can feel a lot and things like that. I'm not a weirdo. I'm not into like all these energy healing stuff. I'm sorry, I'm just not. That's just not me. But more power to everybody else. But as far as like when you're have you guys had a massage period?
Oh yeah.
Real professional massage.
Yes.
Okay. So when you like receive a massage, you know, you're making a connection with somebody. Okay. And when you do that, and it's not sexual, it can be that way if they turn it that way, but it doesn't have to be that way. And what I mean by transference is, so let's say somebody comes in and they are just really having a bad day, right? And then, you know, they're coming for a massage. They want to relax. They want to de-stress. Well, you may feel like really crappy after you get done giving that massage. That's what I'm talking about, transference. And you may have that the rest of your day. You may feel disgusting. It's because you're not blocking you're not putting your guard up. But sometimes I've had clients where you really feel that energy connection, and you know you don't go farther because you can feel it. It's just a thing. But
so in this situation, like with massaging, because I can imagine almost like, you know, you have like hairdressers and stuff, people, they talk a lot, or like they're like expressing themselves while you're going through the thing until, you know, you get to a certain part where like people are just moaning and groaning because you're like getting deep tissue, whatever. But like
I've had moaners. I've had people. Yes.
Yeah, and so has there ever been stories like when you were in school, like how that kind of like Because like I said, when you start doing intimate stuff, that's why we always make the joke about massages. Is like, oh yeah, let me do that for you, and the next, you got a baby on the way, type stuff. So is there any stories that you've had of like people actually doing this and then they just get with a client or something like that?
Yes, I actually, okay, nobody knows who this person is, but I went to school with a person, and she basically, she slept with her client. I mean, and like, I don't know. It's not gross, but it is at the same time, because here's the thing, like, this is my work. This is my job. You know what I'm saying? Versus, hey, I'm being intimate with somebody. There's a difference. You're paying me. If you're paying me, now I'm being a prostitute because you're paying me to do sexual things for you. That's totally different, and Willie's face.
if he paid you for a massage, he didn't pay you for a vagina, because if you
right, exactly.
So you're not a prostitute because you're a masseuse that had sex.
If you give it up, you are.
No, if you give it up for money, you are. But you didn't pay him. Like, he didn't pay you for the sex.
But psychologically, I could see how she could start doing, like, let's say you're giving a massage, and then every now and then you smash, and then it's like, he's like, well, yeah, well, here, I'm gonna give you this money for the massage, but you already know it's gonna be followed by, some passion fruit. Yeah.
So there's gonna be a happy ending.
Yeah, like, and guys are weird. Let me tell you, I don't understand this, but I've had guys on my table, and it's like,
I'm just waiting. I'm waiting. I ain't thrown it yet. That's how the refs do. They put their hand on it. I'm just putting it up.
He's ready. Willie's about ready to throw his hat.
Okay.
But I've had guys on my table where they get hard, and which is a normal, natural response. That's not uncommon. Okay, obviously I'm telling you all this, but if this feels good, okay. But it's when you start to raise it and wave it at me,
no,
there's a problem.
No. Wait. You got okay. You have okay.
I will take that towel in a hot minute and drop it right over. This is not what that's for.
Wait. Okay, so you're gonna have to give me two scenarios of how you talk someone down, literally, or so you have to.
Where is Yonci?
Listen. So
I have been sitting over here, just quiet, sitting at the table. Ma'am.
Come in hot.
Yes,
sir.
Okay, go ahead. Just keep going. Go ahead.
Yeah. So okay, please give us that scenario, because like you said, it feels you're being so nice about this, because if I was a massage therapist and that, like, if I was a girl and that had happened to me, I wouldn't know. I would just be like, I'm gonna let you think about your grandma for a little bit, and then I'm gonna come back in here when you settle down. Like,
I'll say this. There are things you can do to help eliminate that, and what I mean by that is change your pace. Instead of just going soft and slow and all the no, you're going fast. That's it.
But do you address it though?
Yeah.
You don't always have to. They know what they're doing, and they know it's not okay.
Yeah.
And you change up the pace. Okay. You start there. You give them nonverbal warnings first. You change up the pace.
Okay.
And then, because that's usually what is turning them on.
Okay, got it.
Is your touches soft and instead of
you don't have us on your playlist, right?
Right. Like especially if you do the legs, okay, and it's how you do it. Are you going up or are you going down? Are you going towards the heart or are you going away from the heart? Are you going light, soft touch? Or are you going to go deep and get in there? You know what I mean? It's pressure. Change your pressure. Change your pace. If they're still trying you, then they're there for another reason, right?
Yeah.
I've had a guy. Okay, I'll tell you this. I've had a guy one time, and this is why I put a towel over the eyes every single time, is because I was doing his arm, and he literally grabbed my arm and stared me down, and I was so uncomfortable, and I just grabbed his arm harder. You're on the table. You're at a disadvantage, first of all. Mm-hmm. You're naked and you're on the table. and I grabbed him. I grabbed his arm, and I looked away, and I broke the eye contact, and I let the front desk know. And he was very weird, but he didn't come back. And they'll test you a couple times. But there's different ways to vet stuff like that too. I mean, that's for another topic. But
no man,
you know what?
Like no man. If I'm naked, my strength and will to fight is cut in half by 90%. I'm not trying to fight anybody that's naked. So if I could avoid any type of conflict while nude, I'm not fighting with my stuff out. That's crazy. That's like why one of my biggest fears in life is going to jail. Because I feel like I'm getting into a fight in the shower.
Yeah, that'd be crazy. Yeah.
Wow. But the craziest part about your story, Kylie, is that stuff is so real and so true. I'm a licensed esthetician, so I offer like full body waxing. But I make it clear on my booking site, I don't anything from the waist down is for women only. I don't offer it for men at all because it can get very, very weird. I've heard stories of experience that other women have had, and I don't want that experience because I used to work in a salon, and I'm like, I could be in that salon at any time by myself. Now I have my own suite. So I'm like, I'm in here by myself all the time. I can't run the risk of somebody being weird or doing something odd in a situation like that. And for me, as a esthetician, if I'm providing a wax service, this is way more intimate than a massage because we really get into it. You know what I mean? So you have to be very, very careful. So I don't even offer that type of service for men because you have some men if you trust him and you know like he ain't gonna do nothing funny or nothing like that, then that's one thing. But just offering it flat out or whatever, you gotta be mindful because they have other motives. I have I know a young lady that's an esthetician. She also offers full body waxing. She had a client that was come to her for a long time. And one day he came in there just on some weird stuff. Now, mind you, this young lady, she's beautiful, thick and curvy as she wants to be. He gets undressed, like from the waist down, like he normally supposed to do. And then before he even gets on the table, he was like, "Oh my God, come over here and give me a hug." Sir?
Absolutely not.
Sir. You know, like it's crazy. So like a situation like that, you know, I completely understand where you're coming from. But the good part about your situation that you have a way of like calming that down. And then if it still doesn't work, it's like, okay, so you can leave.
Yep. And you will pay at the front in full.
And you will.
I was bet when I was in the Navy, I got dared to get a Brazilian wax when we pulled into a port. So like they paid me, the pot was like $2,200, and I'm super broke due to the Navy. So I'm like, all right, cool. I had no idea like what all was involved. I knew that it was like waxing, but I thought it was just like, you know, a one-time thing. I felt like I had left the gynecologist when I was done, but I say all that to say is like the last thing I thought about while I was having my pubic hair ripped out was getting hard.
Yes.
Like crazy. And the girls who did it was 3 girls and they were all working in tandem and they were fine. You know, I'm childish, so back then I was. So I'm thinking like, shit, 3 of them in here. Okay, I might can make something work. Even still, once they got to like spreading and pulling stuff, I was I can't see how a man gets hard getting whacked. Like that dude is into some weird stuff. If he got you snatching his hair off and then his pee get hard, that's wild.
And it's not even that like you're snatching the hair, but the fact that you have to touch that area in order for you to get in there and get it good. Like you're gonna have to touch him, you know. And then sometimes you got to get some help from them, but you're gonna have to touch him or whatever. And so I think it's the fact that you're touching him in all of that area, and some people they just cannot handle it.
Oh yeah. I forgot. I don't think they'll rub on me though, because I mean, if you touch it anywhere near me, I'm a man at the end of the day. So
yeah.
But I was traumatized, and I didn't get hard at all.
Yeah, but I'm thinking about the fact you had 3 people working on you at once. Like, wow.
I mean, I'm a dude, so you know I got dude hair. They had to get somebody to help them pull.
Wow. Okay.
It wasn't like, you know, this is, you know, never been waxed before. These follicles are fresh. It wasn't like when you get waxed a lot, don't like the follicles give it up a little easier. Mine was
Yeah,
fine.
it's supposed to grow back finer and slower. Yeah.
It sounds like Velcro when you wax a guy that's never been waxed before, from my experience.
I just want to say before we leave the subject, Kaylee, I've learned so much tonight.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Any other questions?
For sure.
So yeah. Oh no, did you have something to say, young guy? Yeah, no, I was gonna say something not because I know you just were sitting up there.
No, I don't. You know.
What's your name? We can't see.
Oh, it's mine.
Okay, I thought that was mine. Your hair was different, so I didn't want to say.
Yeah.
Okay. So I had so last thing, I guess, on this. So what I've learned and taken from this is that sometimes you have very intimate interactions, and you just have to sometimes, depending on the person, their personality, or where their intentions are, you just kind of have to gauge it and see if we can do that, move places. So I guess if you're not trying to have any issues with significant others, you definitely shouldn't be getting, touching up on people. But I'm still interested on, like, let's say the guy didn't mean to, he just natural reaction is cool. You're going super fast on his legs so that he can but he ain't coming down. What are you gonna say then? Like, is he apologizing usually? Is he like, I'm so sorry, it's been a while? What's happening?
I don't have a problem until he makes a move.
Oh, okay, got you. So you just let it. So it's just an elephant in the or like a tree trunk in the room, or whatever.
Until he makes the move. If he makes the move, then you have a problem.
Wait, so this has happened several times before?
Yeah.
Okay.
She's a professional masseuse, bro.
Yeah, she's masseuse.
Oh, masseuse. Okay.
Yeah. So she definitely, this is like a, once, twice a week thing. I hope not, but that's crazy.
Yeah. Okay, so we're trying to address it.
My masseuse, my esthetician, and the lady who does like my nails and feet, they're all ugly on purpose. The lady that does my massage is like 6'3" and probably not really a woman, but cool. And does my pedicure and manicure, same thing, and she doesn't speak English, so we're still good there. And my esthetician is super unattractive, but my skin is good, and so is hers, so it works. I do that because, again, I don't want to embarrass myself like that. Like, again, as a masseuse, Kaylee, I know you know how like the part where your face goes into, like when you put your face in.
Cradle?
Sure. The very first time I went to get a massage, she left me in a room by myself. I didn't know what to do because I had never got a massage like on the table before. Only time I did on the table was like I'm getting tattoos. So I lay back, a lot. So I'm sitting there for like maybe 2 or 3 minutes trying, and I'm like, but I'm also all the way naked, which I also didn't realize wasn't a thing. So I'm trying to figure out how to get on this table. So I straddle the face part and then try to like lay down, and then she comes in and I'm like, ma'am, you forgot the rest of the table, like the other part of the table, and she was like, that's where your face goes. And super cool, right? Like she didn't make it any awkward, but even more weird than it was. But I was like, well, can we like wipe this out and put my face back? Dope massage, so I got a really good massage. Yeah.
He said, Jacob, you missed the flags.
I look.
It was my first massage ever in life. There was like,
I got you.
Not from a girlfriend at the house. There was a preamble for, whatever.
Yes.
Yeah, but just to be real though, think about it. If you look at the table, you know what I'm saying, you can see what I was thinking. Like, because then now my stuff out the way, I ain't got to lay on it. Like,
I don't know. Because it's all the way at the bottom. It's all the way at the bottom of the table, so I don't know.
Not all tables are like that. At the same time, not all tables are like that.
Yeah, not all tables are like that. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and I was in Thailand too, so I mean,
Oh man, okay.
The difference,
Yeah.
Thailand, you get it. But to me, it made sense because like it was right at waist level. I just hopped up and then laid down, but I'm like, damn, I gotta hold my own legs. Like, where's the rest of the table at?
He said I gotta.
Listen, you try to hold your legs up in there for 90 minutes.
Oh, listen, you're barely doing it for 2 minutes, just holding it up. That's crazy. Yeah, that's wild. So,
I've had some weird clients, let me tell you.
Oh yeah, so I'm gonna definitely ask Yonci to delete that part of the live because I just realized that this is gonna be in there forever. I have never told anybody that story that wasn't the time that it happened.
Oh my god!
as far as like we were talking about women and men being friends, one of the things one of my core tenets that I really believe in as far as relationships with men and women is that a useful man and an attractive woman cannot be friends. Because at the end of the day, that woman is going to end up utilizing him to get all of the benefits that he's useful for, but all the boyfriend benefits without giving up any of the girlfriend rewards for those things. So it tends to be very one-sided when a useful man, be very specific. I'm not saying some dudes need women friends, but a useful man to be friends with a woman. And then on the other end, for an attractive woman, like if you're a hyper attractive woman, and by that I mean just a woman that men generally find as attractive, the odds of you having a friend with a guy who doesn't want to penetrate you at some point in time in his life is almost slim to none. Even if he likes men, he's still like, well, I don't want to.
It's always the curiosity.
It's always there. And that's also a lot of the time when you come to see guys have issues or women having issues with their men or their partners having, friends of the opposite sex. And then what we see in those instances is when, the people start saying, oh, he's insecure because he doesn't want me to have a female or don't want me to have male friends. And then the first thing y'all tell us is, well, he's never tried anything before. Oh, no, we've never done anything, as if that means that he doesn't want to. Because if we're attracted to you, so is he. The difference is I had the balls to come talk to you when you sent me wings, and he didn't.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? So, like, how do you guys react when you're dating someone and then your guy is like, hey, your male best friend is an issue, or your man best friends, or for the guys, your lady friends?
That's wait. So the ladies have male best friends here?
Saying like, would you have an issue with your lady having a male best friend?
It depends. For one, he would have to probably be gay, and I mean beyond that, I think it's weird. So it'd probably be something where I'm like, what, that's cool for you, but I gotta, that don't work for me in my life. So it's just weird to me, like.
What about you, Jacob?
What you say?
I said, ask Jacob. What about him?
Hell no! Like it's got to be like maybe it was somebody, I don't know. There's got to be some very unique circumstance. I can't see it. Like this guy, like maybe it's somebody they grew up together. They've been family friends for 1,000 years or something. But I'm just trying to figure out. Because when I talk about friends, I ain't talking about people we cool with. I'm talking about somebody they going out together without me and Hank.
No.
You seen Love and Basketball? You saw how that lifelong.
Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but they always liked each other in that way. They always liked each other.
That's the point.
That's the point. That's the point.
If I was getting to know a man, I wouldn't have my male friends around.
But it doesn't. Listen, it's always going to come out. It's always going to come out that you got a male best friend.
If you think you can bring your male friends around after a week together, that's crazy. Because now I'm gonna look at you super sideways, like, oh, where all these male friends come from? Yeah. Like all of a sudden, now that we can be exclusive, now you got a plethora of male whore friends? No.
Right.
But also,
when you're dating, no, it's over at that point.
Another thing is like
here, not everywhere else,
Yeah. Another thing is like if you got male best friends, then obviously these guys aren't my type of guys for one. So that's why I don't want you to have male best friends. Like, it's just weird to me. Like, why are you best friends with a guy? I don't. Why is a guy best friends with you more so? I understand why you friends with him. Why is he friends with you? Like he's a different type of guy than me. I wouldn't like him, so I don't.
I actually have I agree with y'all in most contexts, but then I also know that I exist. So that's the only reason that I probably have a different perspective is I'm cool with you if you're actually cool with them. Like if it's an actual friendship, but a lot of times, like you said, like there are a lot of most of the girlfriends that I've had, they don't even have real girlfriends. So for a dude to actually be there and to actually like, I would have to know the dynamics and understand that. I could probably see it happening, but it's very, very, very rare. Most of the girls that I know, they barely got one or two regular friends as girls. Yeah. So that's why. So I agree with y'all 90% of it. But like I guess my statistics that I say is that 99.9% of men that you're in contact with sleep with you. You probably only have one dude that could never sleep with you and still actually be your friend out of 10.
And y'all are related. That man is probably your father.
Wow.
That's it. You go to a family reunion, you got second and third cousins that'll do it because they're weird. First cousin is from West Virginia, Alabama. But Letitia said that she tells her male, she talks about her male best friend in the beginning, so there's no problem.
Oh, man.
One of the things that I will say from Ace, there is a certain group of men who will accept this type of this situation. They will accept a woman that has a male best friend. They will accept it, and it's okay, and they'll just live in, my girl's got a best friend, right? And then there's, some of us that'll be like, nah, we're cool. Because for us, you having a male best friend says a lot about you as a woman, and not just him as a man. Because if you think that it's like, what do you need your best friend for? Because if you're in a relationship with me, you can't confide in him. You can't be intimate with him. And yes, we understand that intimate means more than sex. You're not going to be alone with him. You're not going to travel with him. You're not going to be able to tell him secrets. Like, what do you need him for? He can't guide you spiritually, mentally, physically, or any other stuff. What purpose does he serve at that point? Outside of your, unduly familiarity, now that you're in a relationship. So when women that have male best friends try to get into relationships and then bring that man into the relationship, they never work.
It happens so well, I'll just say this: it happens so infrequently that I really don't. Like I said, I probably pretty much have the same view as y'all. But because I work with the population I work with, a lot of them don't, like I said, they don't have anybody. So in the traditional household, what things should be is that you got uncles, you got cousins, you got brothers, you got all this other kind of other male input. Like literally, you remember when we used to do the profile reviews?
Yeah.
When we did the profile reviews, I honestly appreciated seeing males in the pictures, like relatives and other males in the pictures occasionally, because I knew that she actually had some male perspective. Because a lot of the women that I was running into, they don't understand any concept of male thinking outside of what they see on the internet. So you having somebody who's in your life who's like around that would be cool. But I'm just running into a lot of young ladies who didn't have that. So like, if I know the dynamic of that individual and it's a really particular dynamic, but yeah, you can't have really honestly more than one of those. And I would have to know what's up with him, because like I said, I don't trust people. So I get where y'all coming from. Like, so
I saw the comment, it just went away. While we're in relationships, we have boundaries. Well, wait a minute, what happens when you're not in relationships? So what y'all doing? Like,
and that's what I mean by there's somebody who can accept that logic. Because if you came to any of us and said, "Oh, well, don't worry, babe, we have boundaries while we're in relationships," both of y'all are single again. Like, what are you talking about? Like, you want to come tell me, "Oh, well, while I'm with you, I'm not going to do this, and this with him. But as soon as I'm single, I'm gonna do that crazy."
Willie, do they even ask Willie? So, question: Willie, Jacob, and Mont, sorry, it took me a second. Do you think that any of us even ask those questions if we were, or you guys we just totally avoid, like, okay, male friend, let's say he's been there since 15 years old. She brought up the age. Do you ask, like, or do you just necessarily assume, like, if she's known him since 15 and he's a heterosexual male, they've smashed, they've done something sexual?
I'm asking flat out, have y'all done anything sexual or romantic?
Yep.
And then we just know, like, because no disrespect to anybody, but when you put a woman on the spot about something like that, it's really hard for them to lie to you if you know how to read people. And I want to know if there's hesitation, if she defends it, or like it was a kiss in college or some shit. No, absolutely not. I'm cool on both. You can be mad at food, you know what I'm saying? But outside of that, you and your best friend got to talk about what we did on that little 2 or 3 day trip we took when I just wanted to make you mattress food.
Most women have a friend. I'm gonna go out on a limb here because a lot of women that I know have a friend that they know when to call when they want to do something.
A special friend.
And they will tell. I'm just saying, like I said, this big age, you just talk to people. People are more honest. Most women have a friend. I'm not saying you do, but you know somebody right now on your phone that you can say, "Look, It's been a minute. What you trying to do?
That ain't no friend though.
Yeah, what they call that's the maintenance.
The maintenance man. That's what that is.
That's what's Kenny Bazemore, whatever the dude who wrote the book, the maintenance man.
Hey, what's up?
That's why I ask when we do singles reviews. That's really why I always ask, like, when was the last time you had sex? Because a lot of women will be dating someone expecting to get that man's all his best to get to know her while sleeping with somebody else until she's ready to sleep with him. And for the type of men that women tend to want, like that guy who can get any woman all the money, the muscles, the tattoos, you know, the dance moves and superpowers and shit. Like, to that guy, that's disrespectful. Because for us to be dating you, footing the bill, getting to know you, investing our time in you, and then we drop you off and you letting somebody else blow your back out and eat the leftovers I paid for, I want to burn your house down.
Yeah, nuts. It's nuts, yeah. I want to address something. So, Miss Carson, we weren't, nobody was talking to you about that. I was just using the example, but no, I was saying, like, men and women, like you said, that special to friend thing. I was just wondering if y'all actually asked it, because so when I'm different, so I don't ever expect anybody else to have my experience. But like, I have a really good girlfriend, never done anything with her. And even if, and it was weird. So my ex-wife, I had asked her, I was like, did you think that we did something? She said, I just assumed, even though I told her we didn't. She just assumed that, and she was okay with that because I was always good to her. But for men, it's totally different. It's like 100%. We're like, nah, I'm not. Homeboy could be over there. He can come to very, very special events if you want to do that. But like, y'all ain't, like, he got to step back quite a bit or not be there at all.
I just think you're setting yourself up for failure by even having, like, it's by even having an opposite sex best friend. Like, it's no point. It does not serve a purpose impactful enough for you to have him. Like, for them to, because there's so many girls that be like, oh no, my best friend, he can't go nowhere, like all this other type of stuff, but it's not worth it. It makes it's no purpose.
Yeah, when you see a woman fighting harder for her best friend than she is, a romantic relationship, just fellas, just bow out. There's no point. You can't compete with him. And at the end of the day, he's always going to be there. And what sucks is having to face that fact in the heat of conflict. Like, when there's a problem, y'all get into it, and she's saying shit like, my best friend was right about you. Now you got to beat her best friend up. Like, just cut ties all together, because, again, you always got a third person in your relationship. You know what I mean?
A man shouldn't have I'm going to stop saying that. I mean, I say that because everybody different, right?
Yeah.
I don't think that certain types of men should have female best friends and certain types of men just won't have, because think about it, right? What really, outside of business relationships, right, can a woman, what do men and women generally have in common?
Nothing.
Like, I like football. Some women do, right? I like football. I like guns. I like boxing. I like of course, maybe business, right? I'm an entrepreneur, so maybe some women got that, going for them. But like, I'm like super masculine. Like, I'm all about work. I think men are made to work, right? Women like vacations. They like, family. They prioritize these type of things. Like, I think a little bit differently. Like, so I never believed in, like, I know, like, my girl sometimes. She be like, oh, like, I just, my new job. Oh, they texting me after 5 o'clock. Oh, no. I'm 24/7. My clients can talk to me. Like, I'm, that's, I don't turn off when it comes to that. So, and a lot of women do believe in that. And I believe there's different things. So we don't really have a lot in common. And it's not really, like, if you can be funnier than my male friends, right, based on the things that we have in common, then maybe that makes sense, right? But I don't even have a lot of male friends, so I'm just trying to think, like, all right, I got 6 homies. Now the 7th one gonna be a girl. Like, she really provides that much value, better than what I'm getting from my homies. For one, I can't call you to fight nobody for me, right? You ain't fighting nobody with me. Like, so like my homies, like, we don't talk a lot, but we know whenever somebody does call, it's like, I gotta send you a few $1,000. Like, if you need me, I got you, right? Yeah. So I don't know just about the utility of a female friend. But beyond that, like, I'm not playing a long game with nobody. Like, I'm not playing a long game with nobody.
I love that.
Ever. So if a man is playing a long game, I slightly, before I know you, just that's something that you losing points right there. If you playing a long game, what's it with a girl?
So do you think it's the same for women? I mean, for guys, that guys should cut off their female friends?
You shouldn't have had them. You shouldn't have had them.
I'll say it for the same reason that I was saying the other one, but I think males are better at drawing boundaries, so that's why I say that. I think men can actually have relationships where they can actually draw the line better than I think women can do it. Personally, I
was married before.
Yeah.
And my ex, there's a friend of mine. We truly are friends.
Yeah.
I mean, my parents knew her. My parents are deceased, but they knew her. They liked her. Like,
yeah,
they're friends. I got married. My ex told me, you can be friends with anybody, but not this one. like, pull the picture out. Her. Let me be clear. So who we talking about? Her. You can't be friends with her. And for years we did not speak. The only one time I saw her is my mother had passed, and she came to my mother's funeral. I didn't even tell her my mother had passed. I don't even know how she found out. And she came, no, and she made a beeline to my wife at the time and said, "Look, I know. I just want to introduce myself, let you know who I am. Blah blah blah. I'm just here out of respect for his mother." And we never spoke even from that day forward. I don't know how that even works. Like, I have a bunch of female friends and I got a girl. Like, I just can't. I haven't met a woman that's okay with. Like, they're gonna be like, "Well, who are all these women?" Like, I don't see how that works. Coming around every now and then, like associates at work, something like that, okay. But I can't see having me talking to another woman and having a girl. Like, that's my wife, my girl. Like, that's who I'm with. I can't see it. I just.
What does one do with a female friend? Like, where do y'all hang out? Like,
no. I'll tell you. And just in this, like I said, I know this is not common, but I will say this is that more than likely we're all here. A lot of us are single. Some of us aren't. So there's going to be having the feminine energy around to be able to give you the perspective and those kind of things is a nice thing. I'm very good at drawing boundaries. Maybe if you're a guy that can't draw boundaries so well. So I like having that feminine energy to be able to give me perspective or to be able to give me insight when I'm dealing with other women, because otherwise, like, what do I got out here? So sex is not on the table. So when sex takes off the table, I feel like you can interact with almost anybody. So, yeah.
No, I'm saying I was
agreeing with you. Yeah. So I said, I think you can do that. So that's what it brings to me. It brings a particular perspective, because all the time, I'm telling you, like, I ask women all the time, kind of like Yonci had built this platform. I'm like, I ask my women friend all the time, like, how did this look? Or how did I look in this situation with this girl? Or how did this happen? Or, like, I'm dealing with clients, and a lot of them, 80% of my clients are women, right? And they're like, from, impoverished situations. Like, how does this work with them? Or how do I help them to get out this situation? So it gives me perspective. So that's really the thing I think that women can contribute in a lot of situations, is more so the perspective that I can't have. Like you said, we're men, we're made to work. We have these different kind of thoughts. I literally can't think like a woman in certain contexts. So that would be.
You know how I said, like, there's certain guys that have to be okay with certain things, and then there's other guys that's not.
Yeah.
I flip it right now. I think the guys that tend to have a lot of women that women want, generally speaking, like you were saying, okay, we'll say it's Montana, right? So like Montana's single guy, most women will find Montana's handsome. Like, he got his thing going, got his business. He checks out well on paper, right? So most women will like him. But then you have another guy. Okay, I'm not going to use anybody as an example for the other guys, but he's socially awkward, has been damaged, got his heart broken a bunch of times, times by women been played, had to pay for vagina, all that stuff, right? So you got that guy. That guy can have women friends because those women don't want him. Those women will enforce the boundaries that he tries to support, because they'll agree, like, "Oh yeah, you don't want to sleep with me? Well, I don't want to give you either. You're weird." But then with Montana, it's going to be different, because a part of them is going to genuinely desire him, because he's useful, because he's attractive, because he's handsome, all those things women say about men. So it will be harder for those women to enforce the boundaries, and more so on him to do. You see what I'm saying? More so on him.
I agree with that.
Because most men will sleep with most women. Some women will sleep with, you can't say that the same about women. So with him having so much access to women, then the boundaries that he has to enforce are going to be on him to do. Because if he applies pressure to any one of those female friends, they'll fold.
Yeah.
Even if it's his girl's friend or it's a girls who know his friend. And then also look at it from the standpoint that women are very observational when it comes to men. They'll see a woman being treated a certain way by a man, being catered to, spoiled, protected, taken on trips, treated right, all the things they want to do. And they will at least know now, they have a reference that, okay, well, Montana does that. Jacob does that for his wife. Cam does that for his girlfriend. So they'll see that. And they're friends, though, but as soon as y'all try them, they'll be like, well, shit. Now, I may be able to, push her out the place, or they'll be okay just getting, the side, what we call the side chick perks. You know what I'm saying? The Valentine's Day is on the 15th, February, the half price candy, because they still get the attention. They still get the, when convenient, penis. They still get the, when convenient, he can come through and help you do man stuff. He might be able to come hang a TV, at 2 o'clock on a Thursday because he's off and his old lady at work. They'll settle for things like that. Men aren't getting that stuff from women. At best, all they're going to get from a woman is sex. At best. So it flips in this sense because now, like when we have relationships with women, they gain from having like men as friends. Men typically don't gain from having women as just friends.
100%, yeah.
Okay, so what have we learned tonight? All right, so walk by the table, say hi, smile. Kaylee, you grab him by the shoulder and just give him like a quick squeeze. Use that massage hand and just like
Listen, just a second. Don't do the whole thing. We already know where that goes. But yeah, so
massage away from the heart. We learned that you got to massage away from the heart. We also learned that it's inappropriate to wave your penis around like a white flag with a towel on it. That's not okay.
That's not good at all.
We learned that the part of the massage table with the hole is for your face. We learned that men or women are typically useless as friends to men that are actually attractive and useful. We also learned that it is okay for women to shoot their shot at men coming from men, even though some women feel that it's, masculine, I think is what she said. And then we also learned that Jacob is probably a referee somewhere, like in a midget football league. The smallest flags I have ever seen. Like, if you those look like those little badminton shuttlecocks. But they look like those. So, and then we also learned that Montana comes out of nowhere because we usually and he just popped up out of nowhere talking about, hey, I'm in the back. Like, and then made us and we also learned that Somalia was this week's single. So anybody, the same offer I make for anyone else. Somalia, if you meet someone on the platform and you guys decide to go out or whatever, we'll cover your first dinner. So if you do decide to go do that, so first we'll cover the first dinner for you. I got to do the church announcements as Yonci calls them. So again, thanks everybody for showing up. Jacob, Kaylee, Cam, Montana, Somalia, super dope. Also, Yonci's going to be putting out some more information about the actual event that we're going to host in September. So be on the lookout for that. I hope that all you guys can come. We're going to do a giveaway for a trip where, we'll cover your hotel and your plane ticket to get you there. So we're going to figure out, and she'll do all of that. Because that's just, I'm not smart enough for that part. When are we going to do the giveaway? We'll do the giveaway the first week of August. I mean, we'll talk about it. I mean, but, I would suggest we do it the first week of August. Whatever you decide. But that's the input that I'll give you. Also, for the event, man, I just want to say that it's going to be fun. It's going to be something, a lot of you guys get to come out, put names with faces. It'll be a dope vibe. The lake will be out there. We'll have a good time. We're going to have a very, 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 very fun time. I don't want to give you too much, but that entire weekend is going to be dope. Like, the entire weekend is going to be fun, and it's for patrons only. We're not opening up to the public. Maybe in the future we do events places that are open to the public, but this is going to be just for the St. Yonci family. They're saying subscribe or support her. And then if you're not on Patreon, you're doing something wrong. You spend 3 hours with us, and you literally been out for 3.5 hours, and you just now describing and finding out what Yonci Patreon is. You're saying you're messing up in life, man. So the best $10 you'll spend unless you want to get that Lynette Platinum Preferred package. It's like
yeah.
But with that Platinum Preferred package, you get actually see Yonci work out, and also you get to meet. We got some new content coming. Like you get to see her like walking down her hallways, driving on the freeways. You'll get to see like a lot of behind the scenes random footage of her like brushing her hair. You'll get to see Monte on the grill. You get to see the before and after of what happens when he's on the grill. So like, or you can just pay the $15 and get access to everything else that she actually care about.
Yeah.
So the Platinum Preferred is like $19.50 a month. $1,550. But I would suggest you guys just pay for the $15 package and get it over with. And then lastly, I want you guys to know that like this platform wouldn't grow without people to participate on the channel, people to participate in the live, and that every time, every like, every comment, every subscription, every time you share it means the world to Yonci. Like she works really hard. I know you guys have no idea how hard she works behind the scenes, but that lady works like a Jamaican that's also half Mexican. Like she's got like 9 jobs and then she's working 15 at the same time. So please keep giving her your support, you know what I'm saying, your prayers, and most importantly, your attention. Because I promise you, one thing that Yonci's good for is making sure you guys get return on your investment. So with that, any closing remarks, everybody? You want to start with you, Jacob?
Nope.
What about you, Kaylee? You want to wave the white flag?
Sure, I'll wave the white flag.
All right. What about you, Cam?
I need the mattress food T-shirts for the Patreon members. I need that for the first drop.
Yonci,
Yeah, I need that. Listen,
Montana.
Yes, I need that shirt.
What you got for us? You got anything?
I don't have any female friends.
Yeah, no female. Well, that was
no female best friends.
Hey, Somali, what's it gonna be for you? What you got for us?
I don't have anything. This was absolutely wonderful tonight. I enjoyed y'all.
Well, likewise, you guys are super fun to be on. I had a pleasure meeting everyone. I mean, I've talked to the rest except for Kaylee and Somali. I talk to Jacob and Cam and Montana all the time. And again, ladies, like Montana said, like no female friends. If your man has female friends, if he's got 5 female friends, he's hit 2 and he's waiting another 3. That said, that's it, man. Great episode. Nice talking to you guys. Thank you for supporting Yonci, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
All right, bro.
Absolutely.